7:30 to 4 on Saturday. I'm Ryan Briggs, joined by head coach Andrew DiDonato. Coach, we begin year number 9 of the Andrew DiDonato Show. Great to have Ken Frenchak, Valvoline Express Care, joining us here in 2024, and looking forward to a fun year.
Yeah, absolutely. And Ken is, I've got to know him pretty well, an amazing guy. So excited to hear you talk about him and his amazing service. And yeah, year 9, we got to do this a lot of times last year, and it was a lot of fun, and I'm glad to be back with you.
We did it a dozen times last year, and would love to do that.
Yeah.
We will not run out of tape, if you will. We have lots of room on the SD card on our digital recording equipment, and what we do know is that we will do this 10 times in the regular season, the first one being today. And later in the show, we will talk about today's opponent, the Geneva College Golden Tornadoes. Always a tough team to prepare for, especially in week 1. But, Coach, looking at the 2024 Wolverines, when one looks at the 2-deep or the roster, reads the season preview, etc., there are a lot of familiar names. 18 starters in total back, 10 on offense, a number of other veterans, letter winners, guys that have been on the field in a variety of roles. So this is certainly a team that resembles the 2023 team in a lot of ways, but it is a different team, and I'm sure that's probably one of the big points of emphasis is that this isn't 2023 anymore.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the big things, too, I mean, I'll start offense, returning 10, and we consider more than that, considering Luke Jolly did start a couple games last year. When we get into certain packages, Ryan Lenhart comes in, or Anthony Burnett. We consider them starters as well. So even more than just the 10 with experience. But you know, every year a defense will present you different looks and new challenges, which forces you to adjust and do some different things. And that's what's so great about this game. And when you win the league, teams have been preparing for you all spring, all summer. I mean, you're a team that they're focused on. So when that happens, you know, for our offense example, yeah, we're going to at times have to look different. We can't just do what we did in 2023. So that's a big reason of why we will look different. And then defensively, you know, a lot of familiar names, certainly the whole front back, and, you know, I'm sure we'll get into it, but, you know, some different guys, you know, in there at linebacker and defensive back. And because of that, you know, some things may look a little differently and different techniques. So a lot back, but a lot of adjustments need to be made for us to want to be effective in 2024. And we can't just rely on what we did in 2023 alone.
Although there were a lot of guys that did a lot of big things in 2023. And starting on offense, and it's sports reporting, sports broadcasting 101, the quarterback position. And the Wolverines have a 2-year starter back in Logan Pfeiffer, the senior out of Peters Township, of course, last year. Game-winning drive to beat Susquehanna in the playoffs, late drive at Cortland State as well. And Logan's second team All-PAC last year. What a terrific 2023 he had. And I'm sure you sleep a little better at night knowing you have number 8 back at quarterback for 3rd year as a starter.
Absolutely. And you said something important there as you were going through just his game-winning drives. I mean, you mentioned Susquehanna there. Playing the quarterback position, I really have felt there's so many ways to measure quarterback. There really is. I mean, you look at the NFL draft, that's all they speculate, and it's all great stuff. I've always believed the greatest compliment or the greatest thing you can say about a quarterback is he is at his best when it matters most. You know, we're talking about 3rd down, we're talking about red zone, and we're talking about end of game situations. That was Logan in 2023. Touchdown pass against Case in overtime to win it. 2 weeks later, we're down 7 against W&J, a drive, touchdown pass to tie it, touchdown pass to win it. You mentioned Susquehanna, 2-minute drive, touchdown pass to win that game. Cortland against the national champs, a great drive to put us in position there. I mean, he's been at his best when it matters most. And, I think that's the greatest thing I can say about Logan and why he is such a unique talent at the quarterback position.
Now, backup quarterback, it's like car insurance. We don't like to think about it until it comes around. But I know that was one of the, in terms of camp and in the preseason, one of the real battles. Of course, Aiden Gutierrez, who handled that spot more than capably the last couple of years, has graduated. Now in the coaching ranks as a grad assistant at the Akron with Coach Moorhead over there, and they were on national TV last week. And but backup spot, I know a lot of candidates, a number of holdovers, Ethan Wiley, the junior, Sutton Ellis, and a number of other sophomores, and then a pretty good group of freshmen too. How was that battle for the number 2 spot, which is one that you don't want to have to use, but you're one play away from maybe having to use it?
It has been competitive. You mentioned Ethan Wiley and Sutton Ellis. Those two emerged in the spring and had an amazing battle throughout camp, both doing well, and some other guys in there as well, including some freshmen doing some great things. But Ethan has emerged as our backup quarterback. I mean, when you when you see Ethan Wiley throw a ball at practice, it is impressive. I mean, he's 6'3". He has an amazing arm. And as a junior, and I give him credit, he understands our offense no different than Logan. I mean, he'll get us in the right situations, go with the right places, knows how to protect the ball. And when we have practice, we usually have the first team reps a set number of plays and then the second team. And we throw the ball deep a lot. We throw the ball to the outside a lot. I'll tell you, when Logan's does it, it's, whoa, that's impressive. Well, when Ethan comes in, it's just as impressive. So very blessed to have a guy at quarterback that I think we would not have to change much if Ethan comes in. We would feel just as comfortable with the same set of checks, the same mode of operation at the line of scrimmage. And that's a testament to how hard Ethan has worked.
Of course, those guys who are going deep and catching the ball on the outside, a lot of those guys back to the top 4 receivers, notably Scott Frazier, who's been a preseason All-American this year, All-Region in his career, number 2 all-time at Grove City in receiving yards and receptions. Ryan Heckathorn back using his 5th year of eligibility. Ryan Lenhart, of course, just made the big catch against Susquehanna. Made a lot of big catches, caught a touchdown at Cortland as well. Daniel Sullivan on the outside, and a number of other veterans really pushing them. This is a really, really deep group of receivers.
Yeah, I mean, you have to start with Scott, of course, as you did. Just a unique talent. I mean, 6'4", just a matchup problem because of his size, his physicality. Basketball player, knows how to utilize his body well, amazing ball skills, but then he can run by you. I mean, he's gone behind a lot of people. So you have a 6'4" that can run post patterns and vertical patterns and get behind corners. That's a unique talent. That's why he's a preseason All-American, one of the best to ever do it in the Wolverine uniform. You look at Ryan Heckathorn. He led us in receiving against Cortland. I mean, in the national champs, I mean, we were right there, lost by 1 to the national champs. He was our leading receiver that game. I mean, there's another guy with big production. Ryan Lenhart, I mean, the best picture is that Susquehanna. I mean, here he is. You may not see him get the ball thrown much, but then all of a sudden, CMU, a couple third downs, it's Lenny to get those. Susquehanna, it's Lenny to go up and make the game-winning catch. Then you have Daniel Sullivan as a freshman last year. In every big game, you can look at a big catch he made. When I look back at the post against Case Western, that back shoulder against CMU, the amazing catch and double coverage against W&J, Susquehanna, another nice big post pattern to put us in position there. All he did as a freshman was in the biggest moments make a big play that led to a huge drive to win a close game. So pretty special what we have in those 4. And the guys behind them are not much of a drop-off either. So a lot of depth at receiver.
And in the backfield, fullback Robert Tamburino back. You mentioned Anthony Brunette, who plays a lot in different formation packages. Nico Flatty led the PAC in rushing last year, first team all PAC over 1,200 yards. All region selection as well. He's 3rd all-time in rushing at Grove City behind guys named Bowers and Schools. So that's pretty heady company there. And then Ian DeMary, who maybe had more carries as a freshman than he did last year, but certainly he is a seasoned player as well. The backfield chock full of veterans too.
Yeah, I mean, you started with Robert Tamburino, Anthony Burnett, and all I think about is how do I get them both on the field more, which is hard because we just mentioned all the great receivers, but they're like having 2 more offensive linemen out there. They're physical. They're willing to do anything. They know that our fullbacks are the smartest fullbacks you've ever seen. They literally change plays. Our fullbacks have the ability to do things at the line of scrimmage. That's how much smart they are too. So yeah, those 2 are just a 1-2 punch that you dream of as a coach when you're built on running the football. And in the backfield, I'm excited for Ian DeMary. Got carries in the past, but sat behind some really good running backs. But due to them graduating, he gets to be part of the 1-2 punch this year. But it does start with Nico. I mean, you mentioned it, Bowers, Schools, Nico, and he certainly belongs in that class. I mean, obviously, RJ Bowers, all he did, NCAA records, certainly what he did is just, never, may never be seen again, but certainly Wesley Schools over 5,000 yards, what he did for 4 years, to have Wes graduate. And then, not long after, Nico comes in to carry on and give us the same thing in the system that Wes did. Nico is, an all-time great at Grove City already with what he's done running the football, and glad that we have him back for 1 more year to carry the load.
At times, the Wolverines have used, last year it was Joey Guida, or we've seen sometimes of using a 3rd running back too, based on be it formations or maybe just maybe Nico just needs a breather or different things. Is there anybody who's are there some players who are in contention to maybe pick up a few carries here and there, depending on game flow?
Yeah, we're in a unique spot. We had those two clearly as the first team guys. There's been 5 guys repping with the twos throughout camp. I mean, you can go right through it. Chase Rankin, Eli Jones, Christian Royer, Alec Raffer, Curtis Huvis. I mean, and there's even more than that, but those 5 have all been repping with the twos. Right now, Chase Rankin is doing some really nice things in the Nico type packages. He's kind of set himself up right now to potentially be the next guy in Nico's spot. And I'll be honest, it's once we get into the game, it could be any of those other 4 finding themselves getting carries as well. So a lot of guys in the mix there, and I know they're ready if the opportunity presents itself.
Up front, the offensive line, 4 seniors, and then a junior, all of whom have started. Anchored in the middle by Brady Brungard, all-region center, one of the co-captains this year. Nate Brady back at left guard using his 5th year. Dylan Lane sliding in from right tackle to right guard. Then on the outside, Dalton Four at left tackle. Luke Jolly, who started the second half of last year, at right tackle. You have to look, I think, far and wide at any level of football to find an offensive line that experienced.
Yeah, and it starts in the middle with Brady, the first team all-conference guy, from a year ago, returning. I'll be a lot of times both playing and now coaching in this league as good of a center as I've ever seen in the PAC, and that's no just exaggeration. He's unbelievable. I mean, and the greatest test is we see so much odd fronts, which means that you're going to get a big nose over top of a center, and for most centers, they're not going to handle consistently the noses in this league. Last year, week in and week out, Brady can handle anything put in front of him, and he's just a unique talent. On the left side, Dalton Four and Nate Brady, they played a lot of great football together. Certainly what we've done running the football in their time here, they know each other. They've played next to each other for years. Their continuity and double teams and communication special. And I'm excited for Dylan Lane and Luke Jolly to be on the field together on the right side. Unfortunately, last year, Dylan Lane, coming to injury, which led to Luke Jolly plugging himself into the starting lineup. And to be honest, once Luke played so well and Dylan played so well, we thought we can't keep either one of them off the field next year. Well, it's good because they both can be on the field next to each other, and that involves Dylan Lane sliding into guard. So just excited, both special individually last season, now excited to see them work together.
And then some great depth behind them, too. Senior, Brock Carroll, who's played a lot of football. Nathan Trainer has starting experience at tackle. Bobby Benton. Mason Moorhead is a multi-year letter winner. And to be able to go, to have 9 guys with significant time on the field, as well as other guys who have been really rising up too. Yes, it's a veteran group, but the guys that are pushing them too every day you certainly have to be excited about that.
Yeah, and I mean, if you look at the backup unit, everybody's 6 foot or bigger and 285, and really with the whole unit, other than Brady 5'11", I mean, everybody's over 6 foot and 285 plus. And I give a credit to all of our coaches in recruiting, starting with Coach Bainey because he's the outline coach and recruiting coordinator, but everybody, all the staff along with him. That's the biggest thing when we identified how are we going to start competing in this conference. It started with both the offense and defensive fronts. And when you look right now, as we talk about the offense, you got to have size. And all these guys, including 2 freshmen in the 2 deep, they have the size, they have the physicality, they understand the system. Freshmen are growing to learn that more and more each day. But you've got to have the size and the physicality, and we're fortunate to have a 2 deep where every one of them is ready to go.
And you mentioned those freshmen. We won't get into the specifics, but for them to have, if you're a center or a guard, to be able to learn and watch a Brady Brungard every day, Nate Brady, Dylan Lane, or if you're a tackle, to look at Jolly and Four and so forth, and Trainer and all the guys that have. I mean, they have great examples in front of them too on not just who to block on this play, but how to be a Grove City offensive lineman.
Yeah, and that's why it's so important to have continuity and coordinators in a system. There's things that we had to learn the hard way. That Brady Brungard on a given play could be given a difficult look and immediately go to a certain check, knowing this is how you have to handle this front. Tyler Francis in practice has been doing that because he simply is watching Brady. Where in 2019, we didn't even have that check available to us. We didn't know yet that we needed it. But here's a freshman making checks in camp that we didn't find till year 3 in this system. But watching Brady, it's just what we do. This is the look. This is the check you make. That's the benefit of having continuity and senior leadership, and why a freshman like Tyler Francis is making checks in practice that took us a lot of years to find them in the first place.
You mentioned Tyler Francis, one of 2 freshmen on the 2 deep here on offense, along with Gavin Mills at left tackle, freshman from Tussey Mountain down in the south central part of the Commonwealth. Tyler Francis from Lexington, Kentucky. On the whole, whether it's offense, defense, special teams, how are the new guys doing? Obviously, this is a large class, maybe even larger than anticipated, not only with freshmen, but also a handful of transfers coming in. And at least, the initial reports is it's a really talented group too. But how have the new guys assimilated in terms of, not just the X's and O's, but everything?
As a whole, it's been great. And then that's why recruiting is so vital and having a vision is so vital. Our vision to glorify God in the pursuit of earning a degree, building lasting relationships, competing for PAC and national championships. It's finding guys that are not just coming here for one reason alone. If one thing, football, say an injury happens and it's taken from you, are you still happy with your choice of being at Grove City? We work hard to try to identify that. And I think we've found a group of guys that, are at Grove City for the right reasons, for multiple reasons. And I think that is a big thing in keeping so many guys, because freshmen are going to go through the natural homesick and it being hard in camp. But I think all in all, we've gotten through that because we just have a lot of great young men who really mature, and I believe choosing Grove City for the right reasons. And I think that's why they've, really, things have gone well for them in this early transition of camp.
And you, in your role as head football coach, with that in mind, you're more than just the old ball coach and deciding whether to run or pass on third down. I mean, there's you and the coaches, the whole coaching staff. It's more than just certainly that X and O and all the technique. That football element is big, but there's more to your jobs than just that also.
Yeah, it is. And I, actually coaching the X's and O in football is a very small part of the college coaching job, and those who are in it see that, but those, maybe not aware. I mean, actually what you see on the field is a very small part. I mean, I only get to coach 4 months out of the year. We're not even allowed to see our guys in an athletic sense other than a couple practices in the spring and in camp. But it's a beautiful thing. I mean, knowing where our guys are academically, knowing what they want to do with their futures, connecting them with employers. As I've shared before, my father's in ministry, my brother's in ministry. I always say, hey, I'm in full-time ministry. They just call me coach, not pastor. That's the only difference. So being there for guys with some of the personal things that's going on, my office always being open and available. There's just so many aspects that, when I look at our 4 bottom bricks of spiritual, social, mental, and physical development, it is accurate to say football is really 25% of the job. And that's about it, even time-wise. And 4 months out of the year, out of the 12. I mean, it really is. And, it's really neat to get to connect on our guys on all levels.
We are connecting about the 2024 Wolverines. When Coach and I come back, we'll do some more of the X and O stuff here, though. We'll talk about personnel and whatnot. We'll talk about the Wolverine defense and the special teams. A lot of familiar names as well. Wolverines hosting Geneva in the season and home opener. Kickoff coming up a couple of minutes after 1 o'clock, a 1:05 start time due to regional television. This is the Andrew DiDonato Show, brought to you by Valvoline Express Care and Car Wash in Grove City.
Valvoline Express Care and Car Wash in Grove City. Drive. Stop. You check your water, check your clothes, and get you clean. Family service, cars, trucks, and SUVs. Microplanes or filters, check your tire pressure. Locally off, nationally known. No appointment necessary. Valvoline Express Care and Car Wash will go. See, drive in, drive out. It's that easy.
Ken Frenchak here at the Valvoline Express Care and Car Wash of Grove City. Experience. We're all about experience. The experience of our expert quick lube techs and also the experience we provide you with every oil change. You can go anywhere for an oil change, but you come here to the Valvoline Express Care and Car Wash of Grove City for the experience. Drive in, drive out. It's that easy. The Valvoline Express Care and Car Wash of Grove City.
Valvoline Express Care and Car Wash of Grove City. Drive. It's that easy.
Welcome back to the Andrew Auto Show on the Wolverine Sports Network, brought to you by Valvoline Express Care and Car Wash in Grove City, 149 North Broad Street in Grove City. Coach, we've talked about the Wolverine offense in the first segment, a lot of familiar names. Likewise on the defensive side, especially up front, all three men in the defensive line, the starters back, linebacking core returning mostly intact as well. Some familiar names in the secondary too, but starting defensively, to have the front three back, Jordan Karczewski and Bryce Spolnick at the end spots, Kobe Bonanno in the middle. What a great place to start.
Yeah, kind of a similar theme we said with the offensive line, experience and size. And that's exactly what we have. All three starting every game last year and an amazing run through the PAC and then the national playoffs. Again, a theme of with the starters, 6'2", 260 plus. And then when you look at the backup, 6 foot, 260 plus between all six. That's just, if you're going to be a championship level team, there's a certain size you need to have to be able to have the physicality to play in this league week in and week out and give yourself a chance to beat every team. And those three have it. I mean, those three have played a lot of football together. They're willing to play through offensive linemen, defeat two to free up the Jack Jollies and Ben Blados to do what they do. And that takes a lot of sacrifice. I mean, defensive line is, in general, especially in this system, you really got to be sacrificed that, you may not put up as many sacks as other systems or, tackles for loss or some of those things, even though those guys still do that amazingly. But your job is, those guys behind you who are going to get to the ball, the reason they're able to is because of the job you do in front of them. And these three understand that. They're willing to do that. And that's why our defense was so phenomenal last year. It really starts with those three and what they do up front.
Joseph Semelko, the junior from Greensburg, who played a lot last year too, rotating in. He's back also. And then a couple of the other guys on the two deep, Jason Dominic, junior from Shenango, and Dave Cower, sophomore end from Mount Lebanon. Last year we saw kind of a four-man rotation with Semelko working in. Do you think maybe adding, we might see a little bit more of the other guys this year?
I do. I mean, obviously every game is only all unique in its own way of our teams having long drives, as our offense keeping them off the field. That way our defense can have enough rest to keep the same guys out there. But I'll say this, similar to what I've said at other positions like Logan Pfeiffer to Ethan Wiley or that receiving core, when I see our second team out there is not much of a drop off from group one to group two. And that's why all three of the guys you just mentioned, I'm confident are ready to go in and carry on the excellence that our defensive line has had under Coach Brest's leadership.
Moving to the linebacker position, you mentioned two of the starters back, Ben Bladel Jr., Jack Jolly, a junior. Bladel, D3Football.com All-American last year, PAC Defensive Player of the Year, school record 17 sacks, just a dynamite 2023 season. Not bad for a guy that wasn't healthy for a good portion of the season. He still did that. And then Jack Jolly in the middle back also. To have two guys like that in the middle of your defense, that's coach's dream of that.
Yeah, I mean, this linebacking core unique. Those three juniors, how special. I mean, Ben Blado at Media Day, a coach in this conference I greatly respect, one of the winningest coaches around, made a statement, I believe, something to the extent of he's one of the best player to come through the PAC in the last 15 to 20 years. He's talking about a sophomore from last year. Yeah. That just shows you how dominant Ben Blado is. Everyone knows it. You watch us play. Who's number 5? Oh my goodness. He's just a generational talent. And what's amazing is, again, being in this conference now, whether my brother, myself now, or coaching, following the PAC over 20 years, Jack Jolly's as good of a middle backer as I've ever seen in the PAC. And kind of because Ben's over there, leading the country in sacks or up there, that sometimes, you don't notice that Jack is, that's what you want a middle backer to look like. You talk about a national contender in Division III football. What's a middle backer need to look like? Just get a picture of Jack Jolly and put it up there. And then you have Caleb Brubaker, who's already had a lot of success where he previously was. Now he's here. And, him and Jack hit it off. They're best friends already. And the way his speed at the linebacker position. So
he played safety at his previous school, correct?
He played safety. And this goes, Coach Vogt, amazing what he's done with our defensive with our defense. And then Coach Lonnie before him always had a philosophy, and Coach Vogt has carried that on of, we like, if we can, playing guys down, carried that on of that is really don't want to make safeties corners or linebackers safeties. It's always the opposite. We want to take corners, make them safeties, safeties make them linebackers, with the end goal of as much speed on the field as possible. So if there's a chance to play a guy down a position, going back 5-6 years now, we've historically tried to do that. And Caleb fit that perfectly. Ryan Fleming graduates. We have a lot back at safety. Hey, we could potentially play this guy down a position, and that makes him an elite speed at linebacker. And we've seen that through camp, and now excited to see what that looks like in game action.
Brubaker, 6 feet, 205 out of Mechanicsburg. And then back in those guys up, junior Michael Walliser, who really was a special teams ace last year. Seth Rosenberry, a senior also, who we've seen on the field. Again, good depth at that critical position as well.
Yeah, I mean, Micah, you named it, special teams ace. He's been a special teams leader for us, and that's what you want. Usually, if you have great special teams, it's usually depth at linebacker. It really is. You mentioned Seth as well, who's dealing with an injury right now, fighting to get himself back and available. But Micah and Seth are great examples. If you're going to have a great football team like we did last year, you're really deep at linebacker, because those are the best guys to have on punt, to have on kickoff. Keegan, again, another example of a great special teams guy. And like we saw on the offensive line, it's hard right now for a freshman to crack the two deep. And that will just give you an idea of how well Danny Franco has done throughout camp, because it is not easy right now to be able to do that. And for a freshman to get into this two deep, it just shows the special player that you will be hearing a lot of in a Grove City uniform going forward.
And Danny Franco, freshman from North Catholic, and of course Keegan Frazier at that hybrid linebacker safety position, the junior out of Knock, the younger, and I guess little brother of Scott Frazier, but Keegan's not that little either, although next to Scott, a few pounds and an inch or two smaller than big brother. But we mentioned that position, Jason Minch, a guy who started at linebacker, at safety, started a game at corner last year, even the senior from Bethel Park back. And a guy like that, we see him on the lacrosse field, his speed, his physicality, we list the position, says OLB on the two deep, whether I think the roster might say S for safety. He just is an FP football player.
And then you just said that perfectly, because it's one of the toughest positions to play, in that, when teams are spread out, essentially you'll see him covering the slot receiver to the field, which means the wide side of, if we're on the right hash, that would be the left side. As you look at it, you'll see 23 out there. That's usually the fastest receiver on a lot of teams. And when you look at their depth, so get this, he's got to cover a lot of times the fastest receiver. And then when teams go put a tight end, he'll come down and have to, sit there and squeeze the tight end and play on the tight end. So here's a guy who has to have the speed to run with slot receivers and the physicality to play through tight ends on the line of scrimmage. Again, you don't have the success you had last year unless Jason's able to do that. Unbelievable last year, two-sport athlete. But again, it's his versatility to both be physical in the run and fast enough to play in the pass at that position that has allowed us to run this system and this scheme.
And the two starting safeties, Shea Aiken, the strong safety, senior from South Fayette, who played running back for 2 years, was on defense last year, of course, had a huge night against Carnegie Mellon in his first start, was going to go back to offense. Now he's back on defense and starting at safety. Ryan Montgomery, who missed most of last year, was a starter as a freshman. Again, two more guys that it seems like they are very interchangeable at the safety positions or at that hybrid spot too.
Yeah, both amazing stories. I mean, you mentioned it, Ryan, starting as a freshman, which was hard to do, coming off as a team that had been successful, a couple bowl wins in a row, and last year, unfortunate to injury, but has stepped right in. And him and Trevor Beck, we've always felt were identical type players. So with Trevor graduating, it helps him slide over from the dog position, which is Jason Minch's, to that free safety position, and you're going to see the same type of production you saw that we got out of Trevor from Ryan. Shea's just an amazing story. I think Don Magliacco, who was Ryan, Shea's just an amazing story. I need to hear him talk and say, when guys think if they can come back, and obviously he had injuries, but he said, one of the hardest things would be, he said, Shea Aiken deserves to have his year. I mean, you look at last year's CMU, D3 football, and Frank Rossi, we're interviewing Shea because he found himself in the lineup. But the reason I share that is our guys love Shea. I mean, just the energy he brings, the effort, the passion.
as a freshman, started last year, and now one of the veterans in the secondary. And on the other side, I know there was a lot of competition. Seniors Trent Rupp, Jack Steinmetz, guys that have that are multi-year letter winners. But freshman Noah Wheeler out of McKinney, Texas. We talk about what it's like to just be a freshman to get on the two deep, but when your name's the bold one on the top line, that says a lot. Obviously, the Wolverines are very excited about this young man from the Lone Star State.
Yeah, I'll start with Bowden. Kind of exactly what you want in that Gabe Dunlap first team, really an all-conference guy, both a corner and specialist. And Bowden, we felt, was the same type of player as Gabe, just 2 years younger. Gabe graduates. Now Bowden becomes the feature corner. Bowden becomes the return specialist. He's prepared himself. Great sophomore campaign last year. And he has prepared himself, sitting 2 years under Gabe, to now be the feature guy. And Noah's, I honestly see that same progression happening from Gabe to Bowden to what's going to happen with Bowden and Noah. Speed, obviously a corner, that's Bowden, to what's going to happen with Bowden and Noah. Speed and stay over everything, challenge things underneath. We noticed in recruiting, just both on offense and defense and in the return game, Noah's a dynamic player. Certainly returning a lot of receivers and having an opening at corner. We felt that was his best chance to compete, and he took it and ran with it because he won the job. And I really see the same thing happening because he won the job. And I really see the same thing happening because he won the job. And I really see the same thing happening because he won the job. And I really see the same thing happening because he won the job. And I really see the same thing happening because he won the job. And I really see that Bowden carries the torch as the feature corner. I think the same thing's going to happen with Noah. That's why you'll see both of them in the return game and both of them at the corner position for us this year.
Then the Wolverines.
What we have in the secondary.
And the Wolverines led the league in the kick coverage on a team that frankly was kicking off quite a bit, which is that's a good thing. So
absolutely.
Speaking of special teams, a couple of vacancies, but one that there's not a vacancy, the punter spot. Daniel Barabay, senior from Chesapeake, Virginia. What a terrific year he and the punt coverage unit had last year. His first year as the guy back there, and you hope you don't have to use him too much, but when he was called upon, he did the job and did it very, very well.
Yeah, Daniel's our leader in that group. CJ led that group. What I mean lead is, we're in camp, we're in meetings. We've always had pretty much, I consider it a special teams captain, and that was CJ Otwell for a lot of years. Well, that's Daniel. I mean, he's the returning starter, did an amazing job. I mean, I just go back to that CMU game. I mean, they blocked so many kicks last year, and twice we were inside our own 5-yard line. So that doesn't mean you don't have the normal 14 to 15 yard depth to catch that punt and get it off. Well, Daniel, and we were at the 1 yard line, so he only had 10 yards. And able to get that off, just unbelievable player and leader. And as I'm talking about that, one of my biggest concerns coming into this year was long snaps. Talking about that, one of my biggest concerns coming into the special teams and in those games, flipping the field, and that starts with CJ Otwell's operation with Daniel. And I tell you what, a lot of competition there, but Derek Lambert has been exciting. I mean, the work he's put in, the details that go into long snapping. People don't even realize how much detail, how many drills are involved with getting a snap with the snap to kick time operation to be under the threshold that Coach Brest requires for us never to get a kick blocked. And Derek with Daniel, just excited for Derek Lambert's opportunity and what he's done to put himself in position there. Noah Carr has done a great job as well. And then I'll just continue rolling. I mean, Daniel Sullivan, and he's wearing multiple hats this year. He's won the kicking job. That's why we recruited him initially. And then it was, who is this kid at receiver? He's fast. But really going back to where we initially recruited him as, I'm excited for him to be able to do the place kicking and kickoff duties for us in that realm. But
that's a look at the Wolverine defense and special teams. When Coach and I come back, we'll talk about today's opponent, the Geneva Golden Tornadoes. Geneva 4-6 last year. Strong second half to 2023. The GTs do have a number of new faces in the lineup, a new offensive coordinator coordinating the triple option. We'll talk about the GTs when we come back. But first, here's Joe Underko with this week's PAC Football Report. You're listening to the Andrew Deedon Auto Show, brought to you by Valvoline Express Care and Car Wash of Grove City.
Stadium.
Welcome back to the Andrew DiDonato Show on the Wolverine Sports Network. Ryan Briggs here with Grove City College head football coach Andrew DiDonato. This week's show, as always, brought to you by Valvoline Express Care and Car Wash of Grove City. Coach, the Geneva College Golden Tornadoes, a longtime rival of Grove City dating back to 1893. This is the first time that the teams meet in the season opener since 1951. And, Coach, when you talk about teams that are hard to prepare for, Geneva College at the top of the list, both offensively and defensively, the triple option offense, their 3-3-5 stack defense, they give teams a lot to prepare for. And fortunately for the Wolverines, had some extra time with camp.
Yeah. I mean, everything has its pluses and minuses. Every year we talk, every coach says it about Geneva. They just do things different than any other team you play, which makes it hard. And the interesting thing is playing them week one, new quarterback, new coordinator. It's a unique system, and we have no clue exactly what this is going to look like. That's the tough part, which is why we just need to live in our vision, live in our identity, make adjustments in game. But playing the triple option, playing the stack, having no film from this year, new quarterback, new coordinator. Truly, as I sit here and talk with you, I have no clue what we're going to see until we get out there in the first drive. So we'll find out together. But this is going to be a challenge for sure.
With Tim Taylor coming in from the state of Georgia as the offensive coordinator for head coach Gino DeMarco. And people think, well, they think triple option, that it's all the same, but there are a lot of different things in terms of whether it's midline, inside veer, outside, or just handoffs. I mean, there are a lot of things that could be very different, or maybe just some minor tweaks. I'm sure it's maybe keeping Coach Vogt up a little bit longer at night.
I don't know if he's been sleeping much. Just starting with the offensive line, whether they're in a 3-point stance, meaning one hand's on the ground, or a 4-point stance, just even how you come off the ball makes it very different for your defensive line and how you're going to fit into an offensive lineman. So not knowing what they're going to do there, even just that alone is a big adjustment of how you need to defend it. Then, triple option, most people think under center, but there's people who run this system out of the shotgun, which then greatly changes your reads and things, quarterback, everything's in front of him. And then you get into, are you going to utilize tight end, are you going to utilize double wing, are you going to play tight end and double wing, are you going to, two receivers, one receiver, no receiver.
And around
so many things where we just need to be prepared for everything, coming with, offensive alignment, shotgun under center, and then you get into the nuance. And we haven't even talked yet the different plays you can run out of it and reads and systems. So truly, we just prepare for everything because we have no idea what we're about to see.
And it's one of those things too. You often in sports you hear players not plays, Jimmys and Joes not X's and O's, and certainly that is important. But in this case, the discipline and adhering to assignment football. I mean, it's always important, but especially against a team like this, because if 10 guys are doing the right thing and one guy gets one gap over or too far upfield, downfield, or whatever, it could be Katie bar the door.
Correct. And that's why if people watch a triple option and let's say, in a given game, it's not going well, people will say, why are we doing this? Why are we under center? Well, that's exactly why you do this system, is because it really takes, I take it for our offense. We believe how we run offense, there's certain things that are strengths personnel wise of a defense that we can make it irrelevant by, running the system we do. Well, that's what the triple option does. I mean, just number one, for example, you're not sitting in drop backs. So guys that are great at sacking the quarterback, you can neutralize those players by not putting yourself in a position to get behind the sticks, meaning getting a negative play on first down, because you're running a system where people have to be disciplined, have to really account for one offensive player, and it really neutralizes some of the personnel on the opposition. So that's why people run this system. It just presents challenges that you don't see in any other offensive system in football. And then that's why Geneva and Coach DeMarco have been so effective with this and going to this over the last several years.
Caleb Romano, the sophomore from Mount Dora, Florida. His first season at Geneva, he is listed as the starting quarterback. David Reed ran for 339 yards last year. He's the leading returning rusher, 225-pound fullback out of the state of North Carolina. And then at tight end, Darren Myers, who also has played as a short yardage quarterback, 6'3", 220. He's listed as a backup quarterback as well. Certainly somebody to keep an eye on. Then the offensive line, a couple of seniors, Logan McDonald at guard, David Polachek, the center. And then they have a transfer, Roman Constanza from Franklin and Marshall, 6'1", 290 at sophomore at right guard. So certainly the interior of the offensive line, which generally is where that fullback, Reed in this case, is going to be doing most of his running, the old baseball adage, strength up the middle.
Yeah, I'll actually start where you ended and then work back there. I mean, start with their offensive line. Naturally, the triple option system, you sometimes play smaller guys, quicker guys, get to second level. But one of the things that's unique playing a school like Geneva is we recruit a lot of the similar players. I mean, that's what happens. And then really in the PAC in general, every team we play, they're going to have guys on their roster that we know really well because we had them up on campus multiple times visiting. Roman Costanza, both out of high school, and then when he was looking to transfer after his freshman year, both years was very high on our board as one of the top offensive linemen to be recruited in this area. He is a very solid talent. So having him in the center of that, I would imagine, even though you got seniors there, guys who played well, he's going to be a leader, if not the leader of this group, a really special talent. Then as you work back, you talk about the versatility of Darren Myers. I mean, anytime you have a tight end and a unique offense like this, that's the backup quarterback, right away you're thinking, oh my goodness, trick plays. What are they going to do with it? I mean, it just gives you headaches of how many different ways they could utilize him and the different challenges that possesses. Caleb Romano, it's tough. Really, again, they've done well with transfers. A transfer that we don't really have much film on from last season, really not on from last season. We're really going to go back to high school. And then the high school system he ran was very different. So, you don't know what you're going to see, but you see the system he ran. He threw the ball well. Are they going to throw more out of this triple option, going to a guy who threw it effectively in high school? Obviously, he showed the ability to run. So, I think a theme here when you talk about Darren Myers being a tight end backup quarterback, Caleb Romano being a quarterback in a different system, now running the triple option, I just think there's a lot of different versatility in different things that they're going to be able to utilize than we've seen in the past.
Looking at the Geneva defense, the 3-3-5 stack, and they've always had big-time linebackers there, and they certainly have one. Gabe Trexler, 5'10", 200-pound senior from Emmaus out in the eastern part of the Commonwealth, 16 tackles for loss last year, and he's one of those classic sideline-to-sideline three-down linebackers.
Yeah, he is. It's funny. When we like to teach, we like to go back several seasons. So when we play an opponent, especially if they have the same head coach or same coordinator, we want to see what did they do against us in 2021? What was their plan the next year? And as we're looking at it, I'm like, oh, there's Trexler. Next year, oh, there's Trexler. So we have played against him for quite a bit. Great player, has been on the field a long time. But why Geneva linebackers have been so effective in this stack system for many years is they're always big up front and they're tough to move. And they got three more. I mean, you look at the size of their defensive front. Again, everybody is really their starters, 6'1 plus, 270 plus. So that tells you right there, you're going to be in for a physical battle and a great test for our guys up front because of their physicality. And then just, again, freeing up linebackers like Trexler to make plays. That's something we got to really be able to do, be solid on our first level and find a way to get to second level to these guys they're trying to keep us away from.
Coach mentioning that front three, Paige Brereton, 6'1", 270 at one end. The other end, Colton Hill, 6'5", 275, a sophomore. Then in the middle, Alex Gonzalez, 6'3", 320, a senior, a returning starter out of Laredo, Texas. So certainly a big front three in that 3-3-5. With them having generally the five defensive backs out there, and typically defensive backs are lighter guys. The fact that the Wolverines with big receivers is that something maybe you look to exploit, not so much in the passing game, but in the running game to kind of maybe get them in spots doing things they don't want to do?
Yeah, similar to what Geneva's going to do with their triple option and get our defensive backs playing more at the line of scrimmage. That's what our offensive system allows us to do. If that's once we get into the game, we feel is the best route for us to go. Really a challenge similar to us where we consider ourselves a 4-2-5. Again, I mentioned Jason Mitch, versatility to come on the line of scrimmage, play in the slot. The challenge with their 3-3-5, and really they've gone to an even front certain years against us, but then played it as a 4-2-5 with 5 defensive backs. Guys could be coming from anywhere. That's the challenge right now is just, it's not 2 safeties you're looking for, it's 3. And when you have 3 safeties, there's so many different.
From Robert A. Thornfield on the campus of Grove City College, it is the 130th season of Grove City College football. Mark Means, Chris Birch back with you for year 14. And if it's anything like last year, Chris, this is going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, how about that? Year 14 for you and I, year 130 for Grove City College, and certainly year 1 for us, coming off a defending President's Athletic Conference championship for this incredible football program. So a lot of great things going on, huge roster size, depth at every position, 18 returning starters, coaching staff coming back that's fully intact. There's a lot of things in place for a special year here, Mark Means, and I know I'm looking forward to it.
This is the 98th meeting all-time between the two programs, 47-42-8 in favor of the GTs. Grove City has won the last 3 and 6 of 7.
Yeah, the first time they played, the fall of 1893, the first fall that William McKinley was president. So that goes back a little ways.
I know a little bit about his hometown.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. You know a little bit about McKinley, and McKinley was
Welcome to Calvin's Barbershop.
You all got to see this.
I don't even want to know what you're looking at on that phone.
Well, you should. I was learning about the dangers of high blood pressure and that we need to get
we are ready
ours
to get
checked
this
regularly.
one underway and
Increase the
handling the
risk of
kicking
heart
duties
attack or
this year.
stroke. But this text program can help
is
keep
the
it at a healthy
sophomore out
range.
of
Just
Simsbury,
text Barbershop
Connecticut,
to
Daniel Sullivan, who
97779 to sign up.
I'll get right on
was
it.
recruited as a kicker, played receiver last year.
Barbershop to 97779. A message from the American Heart Association and the Ad
recruited
Council.
as a kicker, and you come here and you're somehow able to sort of scratch and claw your way, up the depth chart in this great receiving corps, proven himself to be an unbelievable athlete, and he's going to continue to do that, but he's also going to do the kicking duty.
Or even the pros. We are underway as season 130. Sullivan's kick brings back to the 5. Contact 10 outside the 15, 20, and near about the 23-yard line. That is where the Gold Tornadoes begin.
Cleveland Cobras
First down and 10. Caleb Romano listed as the starter.
You're listening to Western Reserve Radio.
Yeah.
WesternReserveRadio.com on the Live 365 network and the Live 365 app.
Like Jake Jolly able to get down there and make the great tackle, and then he's fired up, getting things going in that linebacker spot there that he plays so well at. So let's see what we have here, Mark.
We got Darren Myers, the senior out of Florida, getting the start at quarterback. Also plays some tight end for them. He will give it to the fullback on the first carry. That's David Reed, the junior fullback, and gets a short gain of 1. Chris, only 1 returner on this team from last year's starting 11.
Right, which is, sometimes you say, that means they're in a rebuild, but it could also mean that they have better players than they did a year ago. So you get Darren Myers, number 1 on the tight end depth chart, but playing in a quarterback now.
And flip it to the wing back who went in motion. That's Landon Smith, the sophomore out of Laurel. He's going to gain a few yards. It's going to set up a 3rd down and 6 now for the GTs.
We heard, Coach DiDonato talking to Ryan in the pregame show, just how important it is to sort of stay with your assignment, not try to do things that are sort of out of your zone against this offense. And so far, so good. The first 2 plays.
So it's 3rd down and 6. They will run it up the middle again. That is going to be knocked down for about a half-yard loss. Chris, it brings up 4th down, and this Wolverine defense gets a quick 3 and out.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, Karchevsky and company just plugging that up, and all that misdirection, but none of the red shirts were biting on any of it. So a great job by the Grove City defense, forcing a 3 and out here on this first defensive series of the season.
Baker to punt. Bowden Davidson back to return this kick at his 35-yard line. Snap right back to the freshman punter. Gets away a low end-over-end kick. That's going to take a GT roll inside the 20. It's going to go inside the 15 and down to about the 12-yard line. So that turf hop got him some extra yards.
Looked like it bounced off a trampoline and went flying backwards. So a huge break for Geneva as, with their quick 3 and out, you had to figure Grove City was going to have pretty good field position, but the Geneva punter able to kind of flip the field position there. So let's see what Grove City's offense first series of the season has in store here.
3-year starter Logan Pfeiffer, the quarterback. Nico Flatty is the tailback. 3 receivers in the formation on first down and 10. Nico gets the carry on first down, and he's able to push the ball to the 15. Give him about a yard and a half, Chris. It's second down and a long 8.
Yeah, you heard Coach DiDonato talk sort of glowingly about this Geneva defense, thinking that was the strength of the team. And we see it there as they, Nico Flatty, nowhere to go.
Second down and 10. Pfeiffer looks over the defense. Going to have 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left side on second down and 8. Pfeiffer takes the snap, looks to throw, fires to Sullivan, who makes the catch. And Sullivan makes the catch right at the 20-yard line.
Yeah.
That's going to be a gain of about 6 and bring up third and short.
Yeah, Lonnie Kraft kind of giving him a little bit of a buffer there. And then as soon as he caught it, right up to tackle him right at the line of scrimmage.
So third down and 3 for the Wolverines. Go trips to the left, single receiver Sullivan to the right side. On this third down and 3, working left to right here in the opening quarter. Pfeiffer to throw as the flag comes out. Sullivan makes the catch, and this will be our first penalty of the afternoon. Procedure penalty going to cost the Wolverines 5 and bring up third and 8.
I mean, there's no worse time for that than third and short, right? Because now you turn a third and short into a third and long. And, obviously you don't have the percentage in front of me, but third and 3, there's probably a pretty high percentage of converting that. Third and 8, not so much. So that big experienced offensive line of Grove City that we have talked so much about with the miscue there.
So it is trips to the right, single receiver, that's Sullivan to the right side, trips to the left, Pfeiffer to throw, looks for Frazier, he reached out, grabbed the football, and that's going to be just enough for the first down by about a yard, give him 9 and a Wolverine first down.
I mean, he's heading upfield, the wrong direction, and somehow he's able to spin around running full speed and catch a ball behind him for a first down. So, what? Why is he great? Right there. There it was, all on display. The things he can do. Not too many guys can do that.
So first and 10 for the Wolverines. Ball at the 24-yard line. They have 1 receiver and a fullback in the formation. They will turn, give the ball to Nico Flatty as another flag comes out on that carry. And we'll have our second penalty of the afternoon.
Holding. Offense, number 79. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Our referee is Anthony Lascola, running this PAC crew here in week 1.
Yeah, couple of miscues for this Grove City offensive line there. The call on Nate Brady on Flatty's second carry of the afternoon. And so, Geneva's defense, again, they gave up that first down on that great catch, but you can see they pose some problems.
First and 20 for the Wolverines. 3 receivers in the formation. They will run it on first and long. And that is going to be a short gain. Give him a couple yards as Nico's able to pick up a couple of yards and bring up now second and long.
Yeah, that was in particular a group that Coach DiDonato talked a lot about was Geneva's linebacking core. And there we see Reed Gordon, the 6'1" junior, coming up with the tackle there on Flatty.
So second down and 17. Pfeiffer takes the snap. He will look to throw. Has all kinds of time. Fires for Sullivan. Makes a catch across the 30. And he's forced out of bounds there. A good pickup on second down now gives them a third down and manageable.
Yeah. And Frazier just out there and, he runs that route. And if you're going to play off of him, if you're not going to play sort of up and bump coverage, they will go underneath like that all day long. And big pickup now to set up a 3rd and 5 after a 17 and long.
So third down as Piper looks to throw, fires again to Frazier, who makes the catch along the sidelines, and that is another Wolverine first down. And those two guys, they work so well together in rhythm for another big gain.
Yeah, I mean, whatever you take away, they're going to do the opposite, and that's okay.
They're saying he bobbled that; it's incomplete.
Okay. All right.
So rolling on the field is an incomplete pass. It's 4th down.
All right.
So the incompletion will bring up 4th down. Wolverines will have to punt the football away. It's senior Daniel Barabay to punt the ball away. Averaged about 35 yards a kick last year.
He was great. Obviously didn't get used very much, but when he did, he was money.
Snap back to him, gets another high, spiraling kick away. Returner runs up on it and makes the fair catch at about the 46-yard line. So the GTs will have a short field for their second possession.
Yeah, that was Landon Smith, kind of big guts there as he was able to really come into traffic, make the fair catch, concentrate, make the catch, and for that, the Geneva offense is going to have some pretty good field position here.
Timeout on the field. It's a media timeout.
So the immediate timeout on the field. With 9:13 to play here in the opening quarter, we have no score, as this will be the second possession for the Golden Tornadoes. We'll take a break. We'll come back and have more on the Wolverine Sports Network.
Else you can't escape? Seasonal allergies. Woo! And you might think you can avoid that coffee stain until... Really? You can't escape a lot of things in life, but you can escape prediabetes. Prediabetes captures 1 in 3 adults. There are usually no signs of prediabetes. In fact, most people don't even know they have it. But with early diagnosis, you can change the outcome and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. Take action by taking the 1-minute risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. You might not be able to escape having this song stuck in your head, but you can escape prediabetes. Go to doihaveprediabetes.org today. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.
Off the timeout, it will be first down and 10 for the Golden Tornadoes, their second possession of the afternoon, with their quarterback Darren Myers leading the way. He will give it on the handoff across the 50 down into Wolverine territory to the 49-yard line. That is Philip Ranson, number 0 out of Klein, Texas, getting the carry.
Yeah, just the kind of student body left on the pitch and able to pick up a few yards after contact.
Get it. Quarterback's going to keep it, pitch it last minute. That loose ball is on the turf, and it looked like the
third down.
Able to fall
third down. Recovered by Geneva.
Yeah, just certainly a break for Geneva as he did not handle the pitch perfectly and fumbled it out there, and it looked like a few red shirts had the angle on it, but he's able to fall down on it and keep possession for Geneva.
So third down and 5 for the Golden Tornadoes. They will give it on an inside handoff, and there's no running room as the running back runs right into the arms of Ben Bladel, Philip Ranson. And it'll bring up fourth down.
Yeah, there's that man, right? Ben Bladel, the returning defensive player of the year in the conference. We hadn't called his name yet, but there he was on a big third down play, making a play and getting the defense off the field.
So the Golden Tornadoes will punt. Wolverines will get set to return this kick
for Grove City.
Odin Davidson back to return his second kick, standing at his 15. High, short kick. Davidson calls for the fair catch. He'll make it at about the 18-yard line, and that's where the Wolverines begin their second possession here of the 2024 season.
Yeah, I mean, you think about how often Grove City made something happen and was able to score on their first possession of the game last year. And Geneva did a nice job on that first possession. So let's see if Grove City can't get something going. With 2 penalties, probably the kind of the key to that drive stalling out.
So 3-year starter Logan Pfeiffer back out on the field with the offense. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right side. Single back in the backfield. Wolverines will run it on first down with Nico Flotti. Bounce it to the outside across the 25, down to the 26-yard line and out of bounds.
Nico Flotti on the run.
There's Flatty again, doing what he does, making tacklers miss, and
8 yards.
Picking up 8 yards there on that first down. That's we see it.
You've got a player down on the field at about the 17
defensive timeout
yard line. As one of the players on special teams kind of came up a little bit limp as he went down to the field.
Yeah, but we talk about Nico Flatty, Mark, climbing into 3rd place all time in the rushing list behind, R.J. Bowers, who played in the NFL, and Wesley Schools, who was
a coach on the staff now.
Coach on the staff, and, just maybe the most electric running back we've ever seen at this level. So to be number 3 behind those 2 guys and being just in that stratosphere with those 2 is something special. And he's... Coach DiDonato said he's already a legend, and he's got a full season, his senior season left to go here.
If you like numbers, Chris, Nico, 1,234 yards rushing last year and 8 touchdowns.
Yeah, how about that? That's and he was, again, he was. They were certainly able to keep him fresh with the stable of running backs that they have, and I see the Geneva player being helped. It looks like he's.
That looks like
okay.
That's 42 that's down on the field. Too many papers here.
That's Gabe Trexler, who we
that's
heard.
A linebacker. That's a big player for
we
them.
heard Coach DiDonato talk about what a terrific player he has been in this program, about how they like to go back and watch films from like years ago, and it seems like they're back 3-4 years, and Trexler's on there. And like, is this guy ever going to graduate? But he's still around, and injured on that play. So
it is 2nd down and 2 once we resume play. 7:20 to play here in the opening quarter of game number 1 of the 130th season. And could you ask for a better afternoon?
No, it's you certainly don't usually see this in week 1. It's usually like 85 degrees, right? Week 1, but mid 60s, little cloud coverage, perfect.
Frazier and Sullivan, your wide receivers. Pfeiffer takes the snap. He will hand the ball off across the 30, 35,
This is
40,
Mario
45,
Andretti.
50,
You know me
40,
as a race car
30,
driver,
20,
but I'm also
15,
a Meals on
10,
Wheels volunteer.
5,
I've raced against the sport's
Wolverines.
biggest personalities,
That is
but I've never met more
Ian
vibrant,
his first touch
amazing
of
people than the senior served by
2024 is a
Meals on
Wolverine
Wheels. You
touchdown.
can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
He was sort of shot out of a cannon. And by the time any of the Geneva
People been saying to your friend, get a different face, and posting on their feed, they're super ugly. The things they say to them online are cruel and they're not true. So tell your friend, I'll stand up for you. Don't worry, I know what to do.
Know someone being bullied online? You can be a witness and make a difference by letting the world know it isn't cool and by letting your friend know you care. Learn more at eyewitnessbullying.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. but he's a part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. No time for tired. Nothing can disable this love. He needs me, but I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
I spend a lot of time in the backyard, and I'm the center of attention at summer barbecues. In '96, I made some of the tastiest s'mores. And in '09, it was me, your backyard fire pit, that accidentally started a wildfire when a summer breeze carried one of my embers into some dry brush.
Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokingBear.com. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
My name is Lola Silvestri, and I'm going to be 95 this year. I was very independent. I fell, and I had to have Meals on Wheels. America, let's do lunch.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
Hey everyone, let's all stop what we're doing and take a moment. You see, every moment can be kind of special. But they can be loud moments, goofy moments, dorky moments. It doesn't matter. Because every time dads like us take a moment like that to spend with our kids, well, it's pretty momentous. So let's take a moment to make a moment. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
This is Everett Fitzhugh, the radio voice of the NHL Seattle Kraken, and you're listening to the home of the Youngstown Phantoms, Western Reserve Radio.
It seemed like just nowhere to go, both on the third down play to get off the field in the last series and the first down play right now.
Wing will go into motion. They will pitch it to him, try to turn the corner, and the Wolverines close that down quickly. Again, that was Philip Ranson on the carry. On the run. Talk about Bladel. 23 and a half sacks in his career. One away from tying Ryan Fleming for the school record with virtually 2 seasons to play.
That's amazing. Yeah, and again, I mean, he's one of the best players in all of Division III. That's pretty much a unanimous thought. But how about the great speed on the edge that time by Grove City?
3rd down and 9. Myers looking to run, and he's going to be pulled down as the Wolverine defense fills the gap. Jack Jolly, the junior from Jeanette, there to make the play.
Yeah, Jack Jolly. We talk a lot about Ben Bladel, but Jack Jolly, of course, putting together an amazing career himself. And, Coach D knows how to use the expression elite speed in the linebacking core, and that's what we've seen here, certainly on the last 3 plays by this Grove City defense.
So this will bring up 4th down, and Bowden Davidson again back to return this punt. Punter standing at his own 10-yard line. It's Evan Baker, the freshman, gets a nice high kick away this time. Davidson will call for the fair catch, and the Wolverines will start their possession with 4:57 to play here in the opening quarter from the 37-yard line.
A couple of nice punts, certainly, by Evan Baker, a freshman from Beaver. But he has, really kind of kept Geneva, at least, to a certain extent, winning the field possession game. But Grove City with the big touchdown run on their last play here. Let's see what they dial up here on possession number 3.
2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right side, single back in the backfield. Fullback goes in motion, settles into the backfield. Pfeiffer gives the ball to Nico Flotty, and Flotty able to get across the 40, down to the 41-yard line.
Flotty on the run.
Starting to see that offensive line to get that rhythm they're looking for.
Yeah, I was just going to say,
4-yard gain, 2nd and 6.
Flotty picked up 8 on that first down run last time, and then, picking up, nice little gain of 4 that time, and he's now all of a sudden he was being tackled by the defensive line on his first couple of carries, but now it's the linebackers and the secondary who are making the tackle on him, and that bodes well for this Grove City offense.
2nd down, they will run it again. This is Ian DeMary, knocked back at the line of scrimmage, pushed back for about a yard loss. We'll bring up 3rd down and long.
Yeah, that'll cut into his 36.5-yard average on the day, but
third and 7.
Pretty good, just a pretty good play by Geneva, getting off the blocks and walling up there at the line of scrimmage.
3 receivers go to the left, 1 to the right side. Single back in the backfield behind Logan Pfeiffer, the senior starter. Pfeiffer, 3-step drop, stands in the pocket, fires for Sullivan, made the catch, and was shoved out of bounds at the 49-yard line. Good enough for another Wolverine first down.
Yeah, just that route where if the defensive back is going to give you a cushion, you come back for the ball. And, again, pick your poison. And, so far, Geneva is not going to give up the long pass, but they've been giving up 8, 10, 12 yards on every pass play.
And give credit to the coaching staff. They do such a great job of running that route deep enough that they could come back and still be a first down. Both fullbacks in the backfield. Single back behind Pfeiffer. Frazier, the lone receiver. Wolverines will run it on a first down, and they're going to gain just about a yard as that middle of the GT's defense has been stout so far here today.
Yeah, they really have been. That was Colton Hill, the defensive end.
On the run. Brought down by Gordon and Hill. 1 yard gain to midfield, 2nd and 9 at the 50.
So Frazier and Heckathorn go to the left, Sullivan to the right side. Fullback is Tamburino on a wing to the right side. Flatty is your tailback, about 2 yards behind Pfeiffer. Play action for Pfeiffer. Fires to Frazier, made the catch and was knocked right down at the 46-yard line. Receiver gave him the inside, Chris, but as soon as he made the catch there to make the tackle.
To Scott Frazier.
Frazier coming across the middle there. But still, like you said, nice tackling by the secondary of Geneva to hold that to just a 4-yard game.
So this brings up third down. And just about 5 for the Wolverines. Trips to the right, single receiver to the left side. Nico Flatty is the tailback. Pfeiffer to throw it. Fires to Frazier, makes the catch, has another first down to the 40-yard line, and the drive will continue.
Yeah, I mean, he's a first down maker, isn't he? And, that's the third time he has caught a pass in traffic, taken a pop, but held on and gained, made a first down for Grove City. So, that was another tough catch out away from his body. Knew he was going to take a shot, but held on to it.
1st and 10 to the 40-yard line of the Golden Tornadoes. 1:25 clock rolling in the opening quarter. 7-0 lead for the Wolverines. It's Frazier to the left, Heckathorn and Sullivan to the right. They run with Nico Flatty, be able to squeeze through a little bit of a gap and get his way down to the 37-yard line.
Flatty on the run, brought down by Kraft.
Flatty showing that vision, that has made him such a great, tough yard gainer. He gets in there and he takes hits, but he's really good at avoiding what should have been hits and squeezing through, almost non-existent holes and picking up yardage.
2nd down and 7. Tamburino in motion, settles in the backfield. Play action for Pfeiffer, goes downfield. Ron Heckathorn makes his first catch down to the 15-yard line. And another Wolverine first down.
Yeah, Heckathorn just kind of sitting in that seam right there against that zone coverage by Geneva. Great pass, great catch.
This offense has that mid-season because most of these guys have already played a full season together.
Yeah. Or 2 full seasons, maybe 3. Right?
So Frazier and Heckathorn to the left, Sullivan to the right side. A little bit of an option, toss to Flatty, turns the corner. Inside the 20, stays on his feet, inside the 15-yard line, and they're going to mark him out of bounds at about the 12-yard line, showing the nice job working the sidelines.
Yeah, there's my man Robert Tamburino throwing that kind of block, too, that Flatty knew just how to use. It's like the old screen in basketball, right? You jump stop, you set a screen, and then the guy with the ball has to know where to go off of it, and that's exactly what Flatty did.
So we have come to the end of the opening quarter here this afternoon. And our score after 1, it is Grove City 7, Geneva Golden Tornadoes 0. We'll be back after this break on the Wolverine Sports Network.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your basement. There's a pair of overalls that overall you're not so into anymore. A perfectly good laptop that hasn't sat in your lap in months. And even more stuff, but still no jobs? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed. And they're the stuff inside your stuff. Even inside that winter coat that moved with you to Phoenix. Our job is to unlock those jobs. And it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth starting with the leftover keytar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
Ready to begin quarter number 2 here on the Wolverines Sports Network. Chris, Wolverines with a 7-0 lead and knocking on the door again.
Yeah, certainly all of the pieces right in place. As see quarterback Logan Pfeiffer, 7 for 8 for 56 yards. Just kind of working his way down the field very efficiently, and of course Demiri with the long 74-yard touchdown run, and Flatty starting to get things going a little bit. 7 carries for 35 yards, but see that defense starting to loosen up a little bit.
Frazier, 4 catches for 31 yards off of a 74-yard, 1,038-yard season last year. So as we get set to begin the quarter number 2, Wolverines now right to left, heading towards the scoreboard side of Robert E. Thorne Field. Lenhart going to line up on the line of scrimmage. A couple of stacked receivers to the right side. Frazier alone to the left side. Give the ball to Nico Flatty. Cut to the outside. Cut back inside. Dive for the goal line. And he's going to be down at the 1-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal Wolverines from the 1.
Yeah, big time cut back there.
On the run.
Just kind of accelerated. Planted on that right foot. Came back left.
Officials timeout for injury.
Officials stopping play for an injury, but didn't see anybody down on the field. Somebody lost their helmet coming off to the sidelines.
There's a Geneva defensive back there. Has to come off for at least one play.
So 1st and goal, Grove City from the 1-yard line. Pfeiffer's going to go under center. Tamburino lines up to the left side. Pfeiffer takes the snap, gives the ball to Flatty, and Flatty is going to dive into the end zone for a 1-yard touchdown. And the Wolverines add their second touchdown of the day.
Yeah, that was actually, it wasn't Tamburino, Mark. That was Brunette. And he actually sprung the block that got Flatty in there. And, again, we heard Coach talk about Tamburino and Brunette and what they bring to this team from that fullback position on full display right there. Anthony Brunette with the great block.
So Nico Flatty, first touchdown of 2024 after 8 last year. Sullivan on for the extra point. Snap down. Kick is up. And that kick with plenty of distance onto the walkway is up and good. And with 14:29 to play in the first half, the Wolverines have doubled up their lead to 14-0 over Geneva here in the 2024 opener. We will step aside for a quick timeout. Come back and have more on the Wolverines Sports Network.
Valvoline Express and car wash and Grove City.
Ken Frenchak here at the Valvoline Express Care and Car Wash of Grove City. Experience. We're all about experience. The experience of our expert quick lube techs and also the experience we provide you with every oil change. You can go anywhere for an oil change, but you come here to the Valvoline Express Care and Car Wash of Grove City for the experience. Drive in, drive out. It's that easy. The Valvoline Express Care and Car Wash of Grove City.
Sullivan to kick off.
Wolverines getting that offense rolling here in the second quarter now, leading 14-0 as Sullivan's kick is away. Fielded back at the 10, across the 15, 20, 25, seam to the 30, and spins his way down to about the 32-yard line before the stop was made, and the Golden Tornadoes will start this possession.
For Geneva, brought down by number 4, Trent Rupp.
Yeah, Landon Smith, nice return there
Geneva
for the GTs, getting them in
10 at the 33.
Pretty good
return
field
of
position there at the 33.
1 yards.
Senior Trent Rupp on the stop for the Wolverines.
And we heard Coach DiDonato talk about, really having to make a read on Geneva's defense. You have to take what they give you. And, Geneva with that, good defensive stand the first time, but it seems like Grove City's done exactly that. Whatever Geneva's taken away, Grove City's taken advantage of.
Turn, they will hand the ball off on first down. And that's Jordan Wilmore, the sophomore from Elizabeth Forward High School. He'll gain just about a yard, bring up second down and 9.
On the run, brought down by Bonanno and Brubaker. 1 yard gain, second and 9 at the 34.
Bonanno yet this year, and there he was, plugging that hole up, holding that to just a 1 yard gain there.
So second down and 9. Wing will go in motion. Quarterback's going to keep it, try to turn the edge, and it's going to get a couple of yards. And a gain about 3 does Darren Myers, and it brings up a third down and 7. And this not that comfortable area where you're
Myers
third,
on the run.
6, 7 or more for this offense.
Yeah, that's
gain of 3.
Again,
third down and 6.
Trying to turn the corner on this, Grove City defense. So much speed out on the edge, really tough to do, and just a plethora of the big names for the Grove City defense right there to make the tackle.
Third down and 6. Myers to throw. Fires out quickly. Pass caught short of that first down marker. It's going to bring up fourth down and 1 for the Golden Tornadoes.
Yeah. Tyson. Brought down by
Tyson trying to hold that football out.
Gain of 5.
See if we can get the
1 at the 42.
Forward progress, but no, great job out there.
Looks like the Golden Tornadoes will leave the offense out there on fourth down and 1 with 12:50 to play in the first half. Myers gives to the fullback. He's going to be hit and driven back right at the first down marker.
Wilmore on the run.
Wait for the spot, but it looks like this will be a turnover on down.
Caleb Brubaker right there kind of just threw his block off. And then all kinds of speed.
People been saying to your friend, get a different face. And posting on their feed, they're super ugly. The things they say to them online are cruel and they're not true. So tell your friend, I'll stand up for you. Don't worry, I know what to do.
Know someone being bullied online? You can be a witness and make a difference by letting the world know it isn't cool and by letting your friend know you care. Learn more at eyewitnessbullying.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Keyboard Cat, Hamilton the Pug, and Toast Meets World. These are some of the internet's most beloved pets, and they all have one thing in common. Their stories started in a shelter. Start your story. Adopt a dog or cat today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a pet near you. Training that pet to play the keyboard, that's optional. Start a story. Adopt a shelter or rescue pet today. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
Allison is perfect. I mean, she'd never tell you that. She's humble and perfect. She likes everyone. She even likes her entitled roommate's weird guinea pig. Allison, wait, are you texting and driving? Allison, no. That's the exact opposite of what I was just saying about you. Why, Allison? Why? Texting and driving makes good people look bad. Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
We are live outside the home of Joe and Rosie Goddard, where a pretty big tickle fight broke out just minutes ago. Sources say their father instigated the laughter. Let's go inside for a comment.
You think you have something good dialed up and players in there before?
Apparently, they have no comment. Dads, let this be a reminder that it only takes a moment to make a moment. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
22-yard
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver. I'm also a Wheels on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sports biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America.
It looked as if we weren't going to have
People been saying to your friend, get a different face, and posting on their feed, they're super ugly. The things they say to them online are cruel and they're not true. So tell your friend, I'll stand up for you. Don't worry, I know what to do.
Know someone being bullied online? You can be a witness and make a difference by letting the world know it isn't cool and by letting your friend know you care. Learn more at eyewitnessbullying.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
You're listening to Western Reserve Radio at westernreserveradio.com on the Live 365 network and the Live 365 app.
Second down and 9.
Except for the big run by Demiri, the running game.
Yeah, Geneva's done a good job. Yeah, I mean that's certainly like you said. Obviously, the long run, kind of masks that a little bit. But the Geneva defense has done a pretty good job against Grove City's running game here so far.
Fullback in motion, settles in the backfield. Pfeiffer on play action to throw. Steps into a throw that he fires downfield. That is going to be just enough for a Wolverine first down. Ryan Heckathorn on the catch will move the chain.
Yeah, mirror image to the catch on the touchdown drive.
Holding. Offense. Number 60. It's a 10-yard penalty. Second down.
Going to get Luke Jolly, the big 6'8 junior out of Penn Trafford. With the Wolverines behind the chains now on second and long.
Wolverines will now have second down and 19 at the 19.
And instead of third and short or even a first down there, now it's going to be second and very long.
Quince to each side of the formation. See Ryan Lenhart check in. Pfeiffer to throw. Has time. Steps up into a shot downfield. Sullivan in stride. 30, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Wolverines. Daniel Sullivan has another big play in his Wolverine career.
Yeah, that time they were up in kind of a little bit of more press coverage, and he just broke that route off into the middle of the field, right on the money, right in a basket by Logan Pfeiffer, and an 81-yard touchdown pass. Okay,
Geneva, you're going to take the running game away a little bit? How do you like that?
And we've seen this coaching staff do that on the fly the last several years. We want to take away the run, we're going to attack downfield. We want to come up and really try and take the pass away, we're going to run the ball right at you.
Right. And it's great coaching, great scheming, and also great players.
Extra point is up and inside the left upright and good. And another big play, 70 yards for the mouse. And with 9:24 to play here in the first half, Grove City has a 21-0 lead over Geneva as we step aside on the Wolverine Sports Network.
This is Grove City College President Paul McNulty. Grove City College is a highly ranked national liberal arts college where your formation is viewed holistically, embracing mind, heart, and hand. You'll discover your calling and be equipped to pursue it. You'll also be a part of a community of purpose and principle. Faithfulness to this mission is one of our core values. Learn more about us at gcc.edu.
Wolverines now with a 21-point lead on the Golden Tornadoes. 9:24 to play here in the first half, and we had a chance to catch up with President McNulty prior to the game, Chris.
Yeah, it's great kind of just talking some football and the evolution of this football program over the past decade with him. And it's gave everybody, he's often very quick and very great with his praise to the people who have been responsible for that, and great perspective listening to him on how far this football program's come in the past 8 or 10 years.
Yeah, been part of that evolution, seeing this program grow to a national power. We haven't even had a chance to say preseason ranked number 11, D3football.com.
Right. Absolutely amazing. And, just great times and a lot of fun being around and following this Grove City football program these days.
So Sullivan, after scoring the touchdown, kicking the extra point, will now kick off.
It's amazing, right? Yeah. Yeah, you got to run 85 yards down the field, catch a pass, take a hit, kick an extra point, and now kick off.
Sullivan's kick end over end. He'll run up on it at about the 13, across the 15, delays to the 20, and pulled down at the 21-yard line, at the 26-yard line, and that's where the GTs will start at first down and 10.
Yeah.
Brought down by Trent Rupp.
Yeah, and again, it's we've said this so often, haven't we, Mark, over the past couple of years?
26.
It's so tough when you get behind Grove City, because even though they, are obviously now a big play team, still, part of the identity of this team is being able to just put long, sustained drives together. You get down 2 or 3 scores to Grove City, it almost reaches the point where we have to score every time we touch the ball now, or we can't get back in the game. And that is exactly the position that Geneva finds itself in here with 9:18 to go in the second quarter.
Myers under center will drop the throw. That pass is going to be caught and tackled in stride by Bowden Davidson. That is Keaton Baker, the senior
Myers
out of United High School.
To Keaton Baker.
We've seen several players over the last few years come out of United local.
Yeah.
Bowden Davidson
play for the GTs.
Yeah. Geneva, of course, in Beaver Falls, PA, and not far from the Ohio line.
Didn't see a flag, Chris, on the field, but there's been a little bit of a discussion after that play.
Like technical, mechanical difficulty on the field with the IT system. Both teams are shutting down their iPad systems. We'll start right back up.
So iPad's new in 2024 for college football on the sidelines.
All right,
and
now they're off.
Myers rolling to throw, hit as he throws, fires downfield, has a man out there, and he dropped the football near the 30-yard line. Couldn't complete the catch, and it'll bring up now third down for the GTs.
Obviously, if you're going to get back into the game down 21. You have to make that play. I mean, there isn't, as a color analyst, I'm trying to think of something else to say analytically about that. You have to catch that pass. I mean, that's all I got.
But open and behind the defense.
I mean, you got to catch that pass.
So it brings up third down and 3. Myers gives it to the fullback. He's going to be hit and driven back after about a 1-yard gain. That's Caleb Brubaker, the junior from Mechanicsburg, with help there on the stop.
On the one. Brought down by Brubaker.
Yeah, Brubaker. Again, he just stands up his blocker and then goes to where the football is. We've seen him, do that so often. That was a great case of it right there. All right, you're going to block me. I'm going to, kind of let you think that you're blocking me, and then as soon as I see where the ball carrier is, I'm throwing you off and going and getting him.
So Baker will punt. Bowden Davidson back around his own 30-yard line. Play clock down under 5 seconds. To 2, to 1, and they will not get this play off in time. And the
timeout on the field
is forced to take
Geneva.
A timeout.
It's their first time out of the half.
With 8:11 to play here in the first half. Right before the play clock ran down, they were able to get the timeout. And we've got the Reigns coming back down here at Robert E. Thorne Field this afternoon. And yeah, you look at some of the numbers early on. Logan Pfeiffer, just 8 of 9, 137 yards and a touchdown. Demiri, 73 yards on the ground and a touchdown. Nico Vladi,
2 carries.
10 carries for 48 yards and a touchdown. Sullivan, 3 for 95 and a score. Frazier, 4 for 31. And
3 of those are first down.
And Ryan Heckathorne mix in 1 for 11 yards. And this offense is a well-oiled machine already here in week 1.
Everybody doing their job, right? I mean, that's it. When you look at that, that side of the stat sheet, that's what that reflects, is that everyone's doing their job.
Baker gets the punt away. Run up on it, make the fair catch. Just Bo Davidson around the 40-yard line. So the Wolverines have 8:06, all three of their timeouts.
Grove City takes over first down.
And knowing that they will get the football to begin the third quarter.
Right.
He's 37. Flag on the play.
So often, good at somehow working it. So they end the half with the ball and start the second half with the football.
Flag back at the 34-yard line.
Holding. Receiving team number 5. It's a 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick. It'll be first down.
So they called holding on Bladel.
Yeah, you can see it in the replay. He kind of wrapped around, and it's
going to get called more often than not.
For Grove City at the 27 after the penalty.
So back the ball up to the 27-yard line. Demiri now in the backfield. Single receivers to each side. Piper takes the snap, gives the ball to Ian Demiri, trying to bounce to the outside. Spun off a tackle across the 35 and down to the 37-yard line. And we see Ian Demiri didn't have as many carries last year as he did as a freshman, but he's going to be the 2 and the 1-2 punch this year.
He's been phenomenal, right? Just coming off of the block there of Dalton 4 off of that left tackle and bouncing back into the middle, picking up enough for another Grove City first down.
So Demiri to the sidelines. Nico Blotti checks in. Nico gets the carry on first down. Big hole across the 50, 45, and down to the 44-yard line. Longest run from scrimmage for Nico this afternoon, and a Wolverine first down.
On the run, brought down by Caputo.
Flatty is that kind of back that you think you have the angle to him. You think you're going to be able to get to him. And then he
time out on the field.
Cuts or something. And
Geneva.
all of a sudden you can't tackle.
It's their second time out of the half.
So Geneva will use their second timeout, Chris, as we hear from Anthony Lascola with 7:14 to play here in the first half. We'll step aside for a 30-second break and come back on the Wolverine Sports Network.
Founded in 1955, the President's Athletic Conference is regarded as one of the elite NCAA Division III conferences in the nation. Comprised of 11 private institutions and 2 associate members, the PAC remains unique in this day of high-pressure college athletics. As a charter member of NCAA Division III, PAC student athletes excel in 23 varsity sports as well as the classroom. Want to learn more? Visit us at pacathletics.org or follow us on social media.
Off the timeout by the GTs, they are left with 1. Grove City will have it first down and 10 from their 43-yard line, and the offense continued to pile up some big numbers here in the first half.
Yeah, I mean it's obviously you got the long run play and the long pass play, but mostly, what you have with this offense here so far is they've just been super efficient.
Ian Demiri going to get it, trying to run to the short side. This time he's going to be stopped up back
on the run,
at the 44-yard line for a loss of 1.
You're listening to WRDB, Western Reserve Digital Broadcasting, Youngstown, Warren, Salem, and around the world.
By the 270-plus yard touchdowns, but still a lot of efficiency in the other plays as well.
Second down and 12. Piper to throw it. With time, going to fire to the outside. Frazier makes the catch. Got out to right at the first down marker before he was pushed out of bounds, and that'll move the chains again with another Frazier first down catch.
The thing that I think about sometimes with Frazier is like somebody who doesn't necessarily understand the game, some of the little nuances, or doesn't follow Grove City football, is they would have to think that's their best receiver. How is he that open? He's that open because he's that good at getting open. That's the part that is amazing about Frazier. When you see him catch the ball open like that, is everybody's trying urgently to keep him from getting that open.
One receiver to the right, two tight to the line of scrimmage as they run the ball with Nico Flotti. And Nico got tripped up from behind right at the line of scrimmage. No gain. It's 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, we heard Coach DiDonato talk about the defensive line of Geneva. I mean, Grove City's offense has done a nice job neutralizing them. But anytime that they've had a chance to shine, they have shined. They're good.
Thought he lost a handle on that football, but able to fall on top of it to maintain possession. 2nd down and 10. Wolverines averaging almost 9.5 yards per carry and almost 17 yards a catch.
Yeah, amazing.
Piper to throw. Fires, sideline. Frazier made the catch. Avoided one, avoided two, and dove forward for the first down to the 20-yard line.
Piper's pass complete to Scott Frazier.
Grove City's 12th first down. Again, Frazier with the just kind of sensing where the line to gain was.
10 at the 20.
Made a man miss for making the catch.
This was timeout for injury.
Got past the first down marker.
So we've got a player down on the field close to the Golden Tornadoes bench. We'll have a stoppage with 4:59. Chris, we'll keep it here. You look at some of these numbers, and the one that stands out to me, yards per play, 11.5.
Yeah, I mean that's you're averaging 11.5 yards per play. You're going to put up a lot of points, and Grove City obviously 21 through the first 15 minutes of the first quarter and 10 minutes of the second quarter.
Got to give credit to the defense too. Geneva averaging offensively less than 1.5 yards per play.
That's amazing. Yeah, and again, that's how you dominate football games. Sometimes stats don't tell the whole story, but in this case, those statistics telling the whole story.
Piper takes the snap, gives the ball to Nico Flotti. 2 hands on the ball as he plunges into the line and gets down to the 16-yard line.
Flotti on the run.
Bring up 2nd down. 2nd down and just about 6 yards to go.
To the 16.
Daniel Sullivan will check in, and he will head to the right side of the formation. Heckathorn slot to the left. Frazier just inside the numbers on that left side.
Yeah. Grove City spreads the defense out with one of these looks or formations. It's awfully tough to guard everybody.
Fullback goes in motion. They run the ball with Flotti. Stepped inside, cut outside, drove right up the middle, and he's going to be down to about the 3-yard line.
You go Flotti on the
It'll
line.
be 1st and goal right there.
So you spread the defense out with the receivers, and you got to have somebody up over the top. So then you run Flotti right up the middle, and as long as everybody does their blocking assignment, it's going to be a big play, and that's what we saw there.
Good vision too. To that play initially went up the middle, and he quickly bounced it out to the left for a big gain.
Yeah.
So 1st and goal, Wolverines from the 3-yard line. Flotti the tailback, Piper the quarterback, Frazier the lone receiver. Flotti gets the handoff and got pushed back at the 2. It'll be 2nd and goal for the Wolverines.
Yeah,
Flotti on the run.
Flotti's so good with kind of his lateral movement. He almost looks like a basketball player doing like lane slides. When he picks his spot. And he did it right there, but it was plugged up pretty quickly. So good defense, in the red zone by Geneva right there.
Geneva going to substitute about 4 new players in for the 2nd and goal from the 2-yard line. Of both fullbacks in there. Piper under center. Flotti, the lone tailback, gets the stretch handoff, and he is going to be stood up again. This one back closer to the 3, and bring up a 3rd down and goal.
3rd and goal.
Yeah, that was Reed Gordon. We've called his name several times for this defense, getting in there and just not allowing Flotti anywhere to go. Once he starts, moving laterally and trying to pick his spots, he's really tough to stop. But that time, Gordon just not letting him get
2-minute timeout.
We have reached the new 2-minute timeout for college football. And with that, we will step aside for a break and come back here.
We're combining the 2-minute timeout with a media timeout
on the Wolverines Sports Network.
Valvoline Express, Karen Car, Wash check your body, check your clothes, and get you clean. Fast, friendly service for cars, trucks, and SUVs. Microblades are protects. Check your tire pressure. Locally off. Nationally known. It's a 7. Karen Car, Wash Drive. It's that easy.
Ken Frenchak here at the Valvoline Express Care and Car Wash of Grove City. Experience. We're all about experience. The experience of our expert quick lube techs and also the experience we provide you with every oil change. You can go anywhere for an oil change, but you come here to the Valvoline Express Care and Car Wash of Grove City for the experience. Drive in, drive out. It's that easy. The Valvoline Express Care and Car Wash of Grove City.
Valvoline Express Care and Car Wash of Grove City.
Off the 2-minute timeout, and if this is your first college football game of the year, that one of the major changes, adding the 2-minute timeout at the end of each half.
Yeah, obviously a little different wording or vernacular than in the NFL, where it's called the 2-minute warning. It's a 2-minute timeout, but still the clock, stops for essentially an extra timeout for everybody. The first dead ball after the 2-minute spot. So right on 2 minutes here for us, Mark.
This will be the 11th play of the drive that has already taken over 6 minutes off this second quarter clock. Grove City with a 21-0 lead over the Golden Tornadoes. Demiri now in the backfield for the Wolverines. Piper to throw. Fires to the corner of the end zone for a touchdown, but a flag came in after the pass was caught.
Complete to Frazier. Flag on the play.
See what we got, yeah.
Didn't see that initial indication yet.
Yeah, it's had to be against them.
Pass interference.
Yeah.
Defense number 10.
Right.
The penalty is declined.
Yeah, that's
all the plays a touchdown.
Again, me with my basketball analogies. That's just like the foul on the floor against the post player that's pinning up, right? I mean, he just kind of pins up just like a post player. And that time he was being interfered with. No matter, ball right in his gut, and he hung on to it.
Frazier's first touchdown reception of the year. He had 10 last season. Sullivan on for the extra point. That is line drive up and good. And with 1:56 to go here in the first half, the Wolverine lead is now 28-0 with 1:56 to play. And you kind of love what you see on both sides of the football here in this first game.
Right. And again, I'm not trying to be kind of, flip about saying this, but you just look up and down at on both offense and defense. Every guy that we talk about here, as far as the in the preseason, they're doing kind of what we expected them to do. The big playmakers, Ben Bladel, Jack Jolly, the defensive secondary guys, the defensive line, they're making the plays on defense. Quarterback Logan Piper, a model of efficiency over the course of his 2+ years now of being a starter, doing what he does. The Grove City backfield, record-setting Nico Flatty doing his thing. That great receiving core with Frazier and Sullivan and Heckathorn doing what they do, and that's where we are.
Sullivan's kick, this one fielded, and a fair catch called for.
Sullivan with the kickoff. Fair catch by Geneva. The Golden Tornadoes will take over.
So they will make the fair catch, and Geneva will have the football with 1:55 to play in the first half. And we're in a situation now where a team that does not like to throw the football is almost forced to have to throw the football to stay in the game.
Yeah, your nightmare against a wing T team is to get down a couple of scores.
25.
But the nightmare for the wing T team is to get down a couple of scores, and certainly that's where Geneva is.
One receiver to each side. They will toss it to the back, working in the opposite direction to Philip Ranson. And Ranson's going to be pulled down for a short loss. It's second down and long for the Golden Tornadoes.
Down by Jolly.
Yeah, to see Jack Jolly getting out there. And again,
at the 25.
You don't very often hear Coach DiDonato use kind of the hyperbole talking about his own team. He's very kind of clinical about it, but he said his linebacking core has elite speed, and that's it. It's hard to get out on the edge when your linebackers are faster than the other team's running backs.
So second down and 10 as we approach a minute 15 to play here in the first half. Myers under center, wings to each side, fullback in the backfield. They are going to try and pitch it to one of those wings, and Ben Bladel was there for another tackle for loss for Bladel. It's a loss of about another
timeout
and a half.
Grove City, it's their first time out of the half.
Landon Smith on the run.
Grove City playing aggressively, Chris, taking that timeout.
Yeah, Bladel out there to make that play. Quick timeout. You're going to force Geneva to have to run a third and long and then a punt. Then you get the football back with hopefully enough time to maybe do some more damage.
We heard Coach talking with Ryan Briggs in the Andrew DiDonato show and talked a lot about the freshman Noah Wheeler out of McKinney, Texas, that has worked his way into the starting lineup.
I mean, it's incredible when you think about the experience of this team, the depth of this team, 21, 22, 23-year-old guys, right, that have been here for a long time, for a freshman to work himself into the rotation. You got to be a special player, kind of like the way we talked about Ben Bladel a couple of years ago when he was a freshman. So,
has the ball.
So, yeah.
Third down and 11. Grove City with a pair of timeouts remaining. Myers wings to each side, fullback. Now the wing reverses direction. Myers will keep it, and he's going to be hit in the backfield and knocked down right at the line of scrimmage, scraping down the line. That was
timeout on the field
there with some help.
Grove City, their second time out of the half.
Yeah, Darren Myers, of course, kind of thrown into starting QB duty here late in the week, if not today. Again, he's a great kind of mix it up guy, but as the starter, it's been tough sledding certainly for him and this offense against this great Grove City defense.
And we saw Myers over the years play some, goal line or short line yardage quarterback.
Right.
But Caleb Romano unable to go today.
Yeah, he's great at that stuff, right? He's the name escapes me, the guy that does that for the New Orleans Saints.
Tyreek Hill.
Yeah. No. Right. Yeah, not Tyreek Hill, but Taysom Hill. Right. Hill is you had the last name right, but like that. But when somebody, a player like that, is thrown into like having to take every snap from the quarterback position, it makes it tough.
Baker to punt.
So Baker will punt, standing at his 10-yard line. Snap back to him. He gets accidents happen. That's why you need Repair That Glass. Specializing in windshield replacement and all other auto glass, we offer a full range of automotive glass repairs. Our technicians can do everything from minor chip repair to a complete replacement. Your windows don't go up or down, they can fix that too, along with custom glass work and antiques. Repair That Glass is a family-run business for over 40 years. Repair That Glass. Call for your appointment now at 330-534-3192. His high school
WWE superstar Alberto Del Rio. Take one.
Behold the angry giant.
Try it again, Alberto.
Behold the angry giant.
Perfect. Good luck tonight.
Start from their
Behold the angry giant.
Yay! Read me another one, Dad.
This is WWE superstar Alberto Del Rio. It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Visit fatherhood.gov, brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
This is Everett Fitzhugh, the radio voice of the NHL Seattle Kraken. And when I want to catch up with Youngstown sports, I tune in to Western Reserve Radio, WRDB, The Scourge.
Football's out there. That's unusual.
Please adjust the game clock to 34 seconds. 34. It did not run on that play.
So we will take 6 seconds off the clock.
We're holding.
All right, there we go. Single receiver to the right, trips to the left side. Piper to throw, sets up the screen. Flotty makes the catch, gets a block. And Flotty goes down hard at the 46-yard line.
Yeah, play was well designed and looked like it might have something there, but that was certainly, again, we've said this a few times.
Timeout.
Well defended by Geneva.
Their third and final timeout of the half.
And we've seen
timeout was called at 20 seconds. Please make it 20 seconds on the clock.
As the evolution of this offense has gone the last couple of years, we've seen more of the screen game added to it. And you heard Coach say in pregame, teams know what we do, so we have to continue to change what we do.
Yeah, but here's the thing. They know what they do, but they have 4 different things that they do for each thing that you do on defense. And that's what, number one, the coaching staff is amazing at doing. And also, let's give credit certainly to the offensive players that make the adjustments in the middle of the play, particularly quarterback Logan Piper.
It all starts with the recruiting, and recruiting shows itself when you see 3 freshmen in the 2 deep of the talent that they have found. Trips to the right, single receiver left side. Piper to throw it on third down. It'll fire downfield. That one just a little short and incomplete. Looking downfield for Sullivan and incomplete. And it brings up fourth down and 3 with 17 seconds to go. And Barabay will come on to punt the ball away.
Yeah, certainly the Geneva defensive backfield, well aware of what Grove City's trying to do. Able to defend the receivers down there. 3 receivers with 4 defensive backs.
It looks like the GTs are not going to put anyone back to return the kick. Snap back to Barabay. Gets a nice high kick away. That ball is going to be hit and be down at the 1-yard line. Sprinting down the field to down that football. That's Derek Lambert, the junior wide receiver.
At the 10.
Flawless special teams, right? But maybe 2.1. Obviously, I can only count to 2, but between the perfect snap and the quick punt, and then great hustle down the field to down them in tight to make sure that they don't have much room to maneuver here on these last couple of plays of the half. So it's little things like that. That's just perfect special teams.
So 9 seconds to go in the half. Myers brings the offense back out for the Golden Tornadoes. He's 2 of 3 through the air for 12 yards in the first half. Wingo go in motion. They give it to the fullback, and he has stood up at the 1-yard line. Wolverines looking for the safety, but they're going to say forward progress. Stopped inside the 1, and the half is over.
That's the end of the first half.
Brought down by Bladel. Loss of 1. And that is the end of the first half.
Bladel gets another tackle for loss, Chris. We come to the end of the first half. I could say this. I know a coach won't say this, but a near flawless first half of the Wolverines.
Near flawless first half. Yeah, no question about it. Obviously, that first possession of the game, the first drive of the game, Geneva was able to force a punt, but otherwise, almost perfection on both sides of the ball and on special teams.
A lot to get to. Stats. We'll recap the scoring and a whole lot more, but we will step aside for a timeout here at the half on the Wolverines Sports Network. As both teams make their way off the field here, it is a 28-0 lead for the Wolverines. As the marching band getting ready to come on to the field, and both teams will make their way to the locker room. We will look at some of those quick stats for you here in the first half. Logan Piper throwing the football 12 of 15 for 172 yards and a pair of touchdowns. Leading receiver in the game is Scott Frazier, who had 7 receptions for 59 yards. Daniel Sullivan, 3 catches for 95 yards. Ryan Heckathorn with 1 catch. Nico Flotty also with 1 reception. And the theme of the first half, Chris, is they've really spread it around.
Yeah, they've spread it around. Obviously lots of great players at lots of great positions. And, again, it just seems like, again, Grove City's, the coaching staff, the offensive coaching staff, not to mention the players, they since they have a good player at every position, whatever you take away, whatever person you take away, whatever play you take away, Grove City's going to find a way to get somebody else the ball, and they all make plays. And again, that's sort of like my theme there that I said a couple of times in the first half, just everybody sort of doing their job.
I think the biggest numbers that stand out here at the break, you look at 35 plays for Grove City for 338 yards. That's 9.7 yards per play. For Geneva, 23 plays, 25 yards.
Oh my, yeah. So, almost 10 yards per play compared to a little more than 1 yard per play. And, that's kind of the feel it has, right? Obviously, 28-0 lead, you would expect the team with 28 to be statistically dominant, but that's probably even more dominant than 28-0 would indicate. And, again, it's just, whatever Geneva takes away, we don't see what they take away because they find right what's being given, and that's sort of been the name of the game here for this Grove City offense. And defensively, Geneva just can't get anything going with that wing T.
And one of the things I don't think we talk about enough is when you have a quarterback in his third year as a starter, one, he knows the offense so well,
right?
But two, he's able to quickly recognize defenses and adjust to their strengths and how they run their offense.
Right. Again, that's when we think about, Tom Brady. Obviously, you start comparing people to Tom Brady. That's rare air. But, that what made Tom Brady so great is, he could look at a defense, and whatever a defense was doing, he would just find the weakness in it or find the thing that they hadn't taken away. And certainly now in year 3 as a starter, Pfeiffer has, perfected that. And that's just kind of what he's been able to do today here against this Geneva defense.
Hey, you look inside the other big numbers, 18 minutes time of possession for the Wolverines in the first half. 4 of 6 on third down, did not face a fourth down.
Right. 4 of 6 on third down. And of course, how many times? I think 3 of those 4 were great catches by Frazier, right? To pick up the tough first down. So again, they stay on the field. They score long touchdowns. They've pretty much done kind of whatever has been necessary. And like I said early on, Mark, when this ascent started back in 2018 or so, right? When this football program started to turn some corners and start to get really good, the identity and the thing that we loved about it, kind of back then at first is that you get a lead, play tough defense, and then string together long drives, to limit the other team's offensive possessions. And, obviously they're not that anymore because they have too many big playmakers for that to be their identity. But when they need to do that, they still can. And so, with this 28-0 lead, here's a question for you. How many possessions is Geneva going to get? Maybe 5 or 6? So they got to score on 4 or 5 or 6 possessions, even to have an opportunity. And you just look and you see that this is kind of what this team has done to people here over the last several years.
Chris, all the action 1:00 this afternoon as the PAC opens up play, and kind of felt like maybe a week or so later than we're used to.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
It's been one of those other games around the league today as action begins. Carnegie Mellon is at Teal. St. Vincent is at W&J. Case Western Reserve at Waynesburg. Allegheny is at Bethany. And, of course, the Westminster has the week off. We'll take a break. We'll step aside, and we'll have more for you after this on the Wolverine Sports Network.
Check your bones and get you clean. Fast family service, cars, trucks, and SUVs. Microblades, check your tire pressure. That's suddenly gone. It's a sad. Scary car, so go. Sit, drive. It's that.
Ken Frenchak here at the Valvoline Express Care and Car Wash of Grove City. Experience. We're all about experience. The experience of our expert quick lube techs and also the experience we provide you with every oil change. You can go anywhere for an oil change, but you come here to the Valvoline Express Care and Car Wash of Grove City for the experience. Drive in, drive out. It's that easy. The Valvoline Express Care and Car Wash of Grove City.
Valvoline Express Car Wash, so go. Sit, drive. It's that.
I'm Sally, a volunteer at United Way. I'm asking people around the neighborhood what they think this place needs. Excuse me, hi, what do you think this place needs?
I'd like to see more parking.
More playgrounds.
Free movies.
That's easy. Better restaurants.
And you, what do you think this place needs? This place? Oh, more ice cream trucks. Okay. How about you?
Wi-Fi everywhere?
I was thinking more money in the pockets of local families come tax time.
Can I change my answer?
I was just kidding about the ice cream.
Oh, that's way better. Now that you mention it.
When it comes to getting better tax refunds into the hands of local families, what this place needs is you. To donate or volunteer, go to unitedway.org. Because great things happen when we live united. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
This is the news. This morning, we are saluting the 2.2 million women who have joined in the war effort. They now make up 37% of the workforce, changing their role forever. The prestigious Harvard Medical School is breaking ground today, opening its doors to new female applicants.
Today, little girls all over the world look to the sky, where the first woman is now in space.
Military stereotypes are challenged today with the trailblazing promotion of a U.S. female officer to 4-star general. It was just announced that the vast majority of last year's doctorate degrees were earned by women.
We've come so far, but our news is changing for the worse. More women die from heart disease and stroke than men, even though it can be prevented. Make a change at GoRedForWomen.org today. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the American Heart Association's Go Red for Women.
Chris, can you put the video game controller down for a second?
I can talk and play. Oh, I'm totally annihilating this punk kid in Nebraska.
I just feel like you're not acting like a grown-up in our relationship.
Him too.
Well, you still ride your skateboard to work. There's the comic book collection, the race car bed.
Look, I'm young at heart, but I put money into my 401k every paycheck. I picked up a few savings tips at feedthepig.org. I have control over my financial life now, and that feels pretty grown up.
Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. Putting some money from every paycheck into a savings account or contributing to your 401k can make a big difference later. For free ideas and easy tips on ways to save, go to feedthepig.org. That's feedthepig.org.
So, I bet I look like a grown-up to you now.
Well, except for the footy pajamas, I'd have to agree.
This message brought to you by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants and the Ad Council.
Halftime continues here on the Wolverine Sports Network. Grove City leading Geneva by a score of 28-0 at the half. Recapping the first half scoring for the Wolverines, it was just a two-play, 82-yard drive. Chris took 34 seconds for Ian Demiri to make his presence known on a 74-yard touchdown.
Yeah, 74-yard touchdown run on his first carry of the season. And, again, obviously Clayton Parrish graduated, and so that kind of other back, that mix-it-up back that give Nico, a little bit of a break back, is now Ian Demiri, and certainly he is going to excel at that role. And like you said, made his presence known quickly.
Daniel Sullivan's extra point made it 7-0 in favor of the Wolverines. Nico Flotti's first touchdown of 2024 was a 1-yard run that capped off an 11-play, 63-yard drive that took just under 5.5 minutes. Daniel Sullivan's extra point made it 14-0 in favor of the Wolverines. And then Logan Pfeiffer got in on the touchdowns in the first half, his first of 2 touchdown passes. This one, 81 yards to sophomore Daniel Sullivan. Then Sullivan would kick the extra point. That another quick drive, Chris. 2 plays, 72 yards, a minute 18.
Yeah, Sullivan, a great move to get away from the corner and then away from the safety that was over the top. And Pfeiffer putting it right on the money. Sullivan catching it and strolling into the end zone, catching his breath and kicking that extra point.
Final scoring drive was 11 plays, 73 yards. Longest drive of the first half of the Wolverines. 6 minutes, 10 seconds off the clock. Logan Pfeiffer to Scott Frazier on a 3-yard touchdown pass. Pass interference called on the play. That was declined. Sullivan would kick the extra point. 21 points in the second quarter, 28-0 Grove City at the break.
Yeah, great recap, Mark. And that's that last touchdown, kind of classic Scott Frazier with the post up in the end zone, and Pfeiffer putting another one right in his gut, and just great efficient offense for this Grove City team.
Going around the President's Athletic Conference here in week 1, Allegheny at Bethany. Chris, that game is tied at 7 as they are at the half. Just underway third quarter from Waynesburg, and Case Western with a 27-0 lead over the Yellow Jackets early third quarter. Halftime, W&J leading St. Vincent 49-0 as they go to the break. And just before the half, Carnegie Mellon a 58-0 lead over Teal heading to halftime.
Right. The obviously the top teams in the conference, Case, CMU, W&J, and Grove City, are all awesome. They're all amongst the best teams in all of Division III football, and all kind of flexing their muscles and showing that off today. So, obviously all of them having their way, but the truth of the matter is they're all going to have to run the gauntlet of playing the other 3, right? So that's going to make for a lot of fun and very big games in the conference.
With an 11-team conference, every team has 1 week off throughout the season. For the Wolverines, it'll be next week.
Yeah, next week for the Wolverines. This week for Westminster, certainly a team that I didn't mention that can certainly stick their nose in that top tier of the conference as well. They get that week 1 off week, which is kind of imagine going through camp and we're working hard for that extra week of camp, that makes it kind of difficult. And then Grove City week 2, which again. You love to be able to evaluate things after camp and then after one game. But at the same time, that means from, now until, hopefully early December, you're playing football without a week off.
Right. You'll be matching up in week 3 against St. Vincent, that we said is trailing at the half to Waynesburg, 49-0. Some of the other interesting things that happened for the conference in the offseason, the announcement of divisional play coming in 2025.
Oh, yeah.
An additional team joining the conference in Hiram, and non-conference action returning in 2025 as well.
Right. Yeah. Obviously, with the 2-tier conferences, then all of a sudden you will have some weeks freed up that you can get some non-conference games in. So yeah, lots of changes coming. The conference just continuing to thrive and grow. And certainly the best teams in the conference now are players on the national scale and their national level. So always a lot of fun to watch that. Grove City College's football program is getting better, as are all of the teams in the conference.
We will take one final timeout. We'll get Chris's keys to the second half. That's coming up after this break here on the Wolverine Sports Network.
Grove City College is a Christian college where you'll be challenged academically and nourished spiritually, where you can determine your calling and understand how to pursue it, and where you'll be a part of a community of purpose and principle. An excellent education is at the heart of the Grove City College experience. coupled with a commitment to faith and a mission to keep higher education affordable. I'm Grove City College President Paul McNulty, inviting you to visit gcc.edu to learn more.
My name is Jim. I'm a veteran. I lost both legs in Vietnam. My victory was proving that disability is not a limitation.
I'm Julius. I'm a veteran. My victory was going from homeless to home.
At DAV, we're on a mission, helping veterans of all generations get the benefits they've earned.
I'm Cece. My victory was finishing my education.
When America's veterans win, we all win. Help us support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
Hey, there he is. How's it going?
I'm having a stroke.
Are you going to shake my hand or what?
I'm having a stroke.
Wow, you're not even moving your arm.
I'm having a stroke.
Are you okay?
I'm having a stroke.
Your face looks weird too.
I'm having a stroke.
Are you having a seizure or something?
I'm having a stroke.
When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear.
I'm having a stroke.
You just need to know the sudden signs. Look for FAST, F-A-S-T. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. Or S, speech difficulty. Then T, time. Time to call 911 immediately, because the sooner they get to the hospital, the sooner they'll get treatment. And that can make a remarkable difference in their recovery. Know the sudden signs. Face, arm, speech, time. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
You don't usually get a stock tip from a 16-year-old, but I'm here to tell you about a different kind of stock. It's called Better Futures, a stock for social change that's not about making money. Instead, you invest to help students like me go to college, which ends up making the future better for all of us. My name is Alicia, and I'm your dividend.
Invest in better futures with UNCF. Visit uncf.org/invest. A mind is a terrible thing to waste, but a wonderful thing to invest in. Brought to you by UNCF and the Ad Council.
When I was little, I didn't talk for a long time. I was sensitive to lights and sounds, so I built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. Sometimes I did the same things over and over, until one day I found out I had autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org/signs. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
And we welcome you back to Robert E. Thorne Field on the campus of Grove City College. Mark Means, Chris Birch with you this afternoon. Wolverines with a 28-0 lead over the visiting GTs here at the half. And both teams making their way back out on the field for third quarter warm-ups.
Yeah, and again, certainly, you think about like what teams' strengths and some of their weaknesses are. And again, this Geneva team, we heard Coach DiDonato and talked to Ryan a lot about it, in the Coach DiDonato show about just, what you're afraid of when you play this team. This Geneva team is, all of their different formations on offense. So you got to worry about, keeping your guys playing assignment football. But the big fear is when you play a team like Geneva is getting behind. And, again, that's the worry. But, on the flip side of that, this Geneva team is not a team that's necessarily built, to come back. So I think, certainly for Grove City, the key is just kind of continue doing what you're doing. Certainly you can kind of maybe shorten things up a little bit and, put together a couple of nice long drives and, just kind of manage this game from here on out is the goal for Grove City. And, Geneva, if we were on the other side of things, the keys for Geneva, I don't know. You got to try to score quick, and that's not something this offense is built to do.
We talk a lot about the offense and the numbers that they have put up, but Geneva has one first down in the first half of action.
Right.
They have 25 total yards. They're averaging a little more than a yard per play.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, just kind of going on the eye test, right? Just sort of sitting up here, not even looking at the stats, just going on the eye test. I mean, it hasn't seemed like it's that dominant of a performance. And, what I mean by that is, Geneva has a few flashes here and there, and, they haven't, turned the football over necessarily. It's just been, a situation where they just haven't been able to get anything going. And that speaks to Grove City's consistency. That speaks to Grove City's, defensive discipline. And, again, just whatever Geneva tries to do, Grove City defensively has an answer for it. And, trying to figure out what, how to flip that for Geneva is certainly the challenge, because, Grove City, I mentioned Ben Bladel being the kind of guy that makes you hate your life as an offensive coordinator. Grove City has a lot of guys on defense that, can make an offensive coordinator feel like, well, what am I going to call now? What am I supposed to call against these guys? And that's really what we see going on.
Yeah, Ben Bladel leading the way with 5 tackles in the first half. Shea Aiken also with 5. Brubaker in also with 5. Jack Jolly in with 4, leading the way.
Yeah.
And the challenge for the GTs gets even more difficult as the Wolverines are going to get the ball to begin this third quarter.
Ball, right. Geneva had kind of its one chance, when the receiver got behind the defense when they were down 21-0, and couldn't even finish that play off. So very difficult day for the Geneva offense.
Davidson and Wheeler, and that kick is going to break the plane of the goal line, and that'll be a touchback. And this is Bowden Davidson and Noah Wheeler. We mentioned him on defense. He's also part of the kick return package on special teams for the freshman out of McKinney, Texas.
Yeah, I mean, he's we saw him out there certainly playing some defensive back on some of the key third down plays for Grove City, and so he's. You just get the sense that the fact that he's been able to work his way into finding playing time, for this Grove City team as a freshman tells you the kind of confidence they have in his ability.
15. The touchback.
So no time off the clock on the touchback. 1st and 10 Wolverines from the 25-yard line. Fullback goes in motion. Piper to throw on 1st down. Fires to Frazier, makes the catch, and he is going to be driven forward by the tackle for a Wolverine 1st down.
Yeah, just making that catch in traffic. And then, like you said, just kind of keeping the feet churning. And finally, when they did tackle him, they tackled him forward. And then that's good for a Grove City 1st down.
Catch number 8 for Frazier here this afternoon. Both fullbacks in there. Demary is the tailback. Demary, the junior, gets the carry. And Demary able to push the pile forward for about 2 yards. Will bring up a 2nd down and 8. And that middle of the defense has played well today for the GT.
Yeah, there's no question about it. Yeah, certainly as Geneva looks at film and thinks about moving forward from this game. That's certainly been a bright spot for this team, as the defensive line and the linebackers around the line of scrimmage have played well.
And Brereton, Gonzalez, and Hill in that 3-man front. Piper to throw. Has time. Has a man open. Makes the 1st down catch. Goes into Geneva territory. And Sullivan is out of bounds with his 4th catch of the afternoon. That'll put him over 100 yards for the day.
They went one-on-one coverage, right, as they were double covering Frazier on the other side with the safety over the top. And so Sullivan, so Piper recognized that and said, right, go over there to my guy being single covered.
Vladi's the tailback. Single receiver, Frazier to the left. Piper again to throw it. Has time. Now he'll step up. Going to throw off the back foot. Has a man open. That ball underthrown and intercepted about the 17-yard line as that ball just kind of sailed on Logan Piper.
Yeah, just a little bit short there.
Piper's pass intercepted by Holtzman.
Holtzman able to kind of hustle back and get up and make that interception. So a rare miscue. The Grove City offense, certainly rare today.
Several of the Grove City offensive players still on the field. I mean, Caden Holtzman, the sophomore from McKeesport, had the interception, and we've got a huddle of officials at about the 17-yard line.
Foul to play as the receiver went out of bounds on his own and came back in. The penalty is declined. Result of the play, interception, first down.
Okay. So the receiver, had he caught it, it wouldn't have counted because of that. But the interception will stand. So Geneva takes over. 1st and 10 on their own 18.
So Darren Myers, the senior, went the entire first half at the quarterback spot. Going to run the option, going to pitch it to the outside. Made the first man miss, and then knocked down is David Reed, the junior fullback out of Goldsboro, North Carolina.
Yeah, David Reed listed as the first, I believe that's his first carry of the day. So the starting fullback for Geneva getting his first carry with 12:58 to go in the third quarter.
So first down and 10 from the 29-yard line. Back to throw, fires outside. A receiver able to make the catch. That's Seth Tyson on the reception before being pushed out of bounds.
Myers pass complete.
Tyson kind of wrestling it away by
34.
Wrestling it away from Bowden Davidson, but able to make the catch and get out of bounds.
Two receivers in the formation. Myers rolling to the wide side, looking downfield, and he's going to be hit and sacked back inside the 30 near the 28-yard line.
Myers sacked on the play by number 27, Caleb Brubaker.
Caleb Brubaker blasting through there and
loss of 5 on the play.
Giving
3rd and 10 at the 29.
Myers just nowhere to go.
So it brings up now 3rd down and 10 for the Golden Tornadoes on this, their first possession, third quarter, working right to left. No running room whatsoever for Myers as he's bottled up and pushed back for another loss, and it brings up 3rd down and long.
A big Kobe Bonanno having none of that. As he just rolls in there and kind of blows that play up, and it's going to force another Geneva punt.
You look up and down this roster, and there's just so much experience back.
I know. Right.
So Baker to punt. Snap back to him, gets this one away. Bowden Davidson will let this one hit. It'll take a Golden Tornado roll inside the 30 and down to about the 28-yard line. And that the Wolverine defense, whatever they've tried to do, they've had it under control.
They just had it under control, right? Hey, you mentioned the experience. Coach DiDonato was talking about Gabe Trexler, Geneva's 4-year starter at linebacker, and it seemes like he's been around forever. We talk about all these guys, right, for our team, for Grove City, and it's almost like he's still around. Kobe Bonanno's still around. It's pretty amazing the experience that this team has.
Nico Flotty, the tailback. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left side. They'll run it with Flotty. First carry of the second half. Nico gets just shy of the 30-yard line.
That's kind of vintage Nico Flotty right there, right? Handoff into traffic, makes a guy miss. Little sidestep, lateral movement, finds a hole, bursts forward into it, and picks up a nice little chunk on first down.
They set the game clock to 10:49, play clock to 25 seconds, and start on my signal. Thank you.
So it'll be second down and just about 4 yards to go.
10:49,
17 carry.
Start on my signal. Thank you.
Of today's game already, Chris.
Wow. Yeah. Just hyperbole after hyperbole, right, for this offense.
2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left side. Flotty remains the tailback. Pfeiffer gives it to Flotty. Spun off of a tackle, got across the 40 and pushed all the way out near the 43-yard line. for a Wolverine first down.
Flatty does that thing where you hit him hard, you nail him as a defensive player, and then you think, he didn't go down. I just hit him with everything I had, and he didn't go down. And that was another great example of it right there.
And when he does go down, we always see him falling forward like every great back does.
Falling forward, getting those extra couple of yards every time.
Frazier and Heckathorn to the left with Heckathorn in the slot. Sullivan to the right side. Nico Vladi gets the handoff. Made the man in the backfield miss that had him squared up and able to get forward for a good gain on a first down on his 19th carry.
Yeah, just looked like he was hemmed in there.
Gain of 4 to
little choppy steps, little basketball lane slide, and burst down the sideline and pick up several more yards.
Nico Flatty now up over 100 yards at 103, averaging just 5.4 a carry.
Yeah, that's what do we expect from him, right?
Demary gets the handoff, and he falls forward across the 50, down to the 49-yard line. It sets up a third down and short.
Looks like Demary having a very good opportunity to get over 100 himself now. Puts him right around 90 after that carry. So, 88. Yeah, he's at 88. So, my math was not exact, but close.
That's why we have the computer screen.
Right, that's right. Yeah.
Receivers to each side, fullbacks to each side. Demary gets the handoff on third and short, has the first down up the middle, ran through 2 defenders and rumbles down to the 30-yard line. And Ian Demary having himself a big Saturday afternoon.
Wow. Just, two guys having a great shot at him, but he's able to break, their tackles, their tackle attempts. And then find himself a little bit of running room and another big pickup for Ian Demary. Now he's at 106. So, yeah, both backs now over 100 yards, Mark.
And an impressive performance on every phase of the game. Demary will get it again across the 30, and he'll push it past the 25 and down near the 24-yard line. As now this big offensive line starting to exert itself.
Here it is, right? We talked about it at halftime. What Grove City loves to do here in these situations when they have the lead is put together drives just like this one. Pick up first downs, chew up clock, and not allow an offense that's down several scores to even have the football.
Timeout on the field. Geneva. It's their first time out of the half.
So with 7:44 to play in the half and a 28-point lead for the Wolverines, we'll step aside for a 1-minute timeout and come back with more on the Wolverines Sports Network.
Hey, wouldn't it be great if life came with a remote control? You could hit pause when you needed to, or hit rewind. Like that time you knocked down that wasp
Timeout's also been included with
or
the
that time you
timeout.
forgot to roll up your windows in the car wash.
Fantastic.
Yeah, a remote control would have come in handy then. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Life doesn't come with a remote control, so you're on your own with the wasps. You have the power to take control of prediabetes. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Geneva using their timeout. They are left with a pair and Chris the Wolverines over 400 yards of total offense with 7:44 to play here in the third.
And you mentioned it, how many guys that's getting spread around to, right? Both running backs, Nico Flatty and Demary, over 100 yards each. Pfeiffer certainly having a day with 197 passing yards to several different receivers, Sullivan, Frazier. So again, amazing efficiency here by this Grove City offense with, all of the big names doing what they do.
Off the timeout, it'll be second down and just about 4 yards to go for the Wolverines. They will check with the sidelines, and now we get the ready for play. Had some rain in the first half, but that has moved through, and Pfeiffer will throw it. Going downfield, just through the hands of Sullivan, and incomplete. That'll bring up a third down and 4. Had a chance to meet his mom before the game. She stopped me heading up to the press box.
Nice.
Wanted to say hello. Always love talking to the parents when they make the trip in.
Yeah, it's always right. And a lot of these parents that, live several hours away, they come to most of the games, but not all of them. So they get a chance to catch us on occasion. And that's always a nice feeling when you have exchanges like that.
So third down and 4. They give the ball to Ian Demiri. Demiri working for that first down marker. He's going to be close, but might be just a little bit shy. Now they're going to give him the first down.
Gain of 4 yards to the
the referee gave the first down indication.
Okay.
This looks to be a little short.
Yeah.
Now they're all in agreement.
Okay.
The gain is enough for a first down. It is first and 10.
Resetting the chains. It's a first down.
Okay.
So first and 10 from the 21-yard line. It'll be Frazier outside to the left. Heckathorn in the slot. Sullivan to the right side. Toss the ball to Nico Flotty. Big hole up the middle. Flag on the play, and Flotty's down to the 1-yard line.
Flotty on the run. Flag on the play.
Yeah. They're gonna. Yeah, you can see the official kind of demonstrating the block. I think they're going to get
holding
Robert Tamarino.
Offense number 60.
Oh no, okay.
10-yard penalty. Okay. First down.
That's Luke Jolly who picks up the penalty. That is the 5th accepted penalty on the Wolverines. Chris, there has not been a penalty on the GTs yet.
First down 20 at the 31.
Yeah, I mean, that great block sprung there by Robert Tamburino, right, as Flatty made his move kind of back towards the middle up the field. I thought maybe they called that one. I'm actually glad to see that they didn't, because I thought that was a perfect block. So got somebody, along the offensive line.
First and 20. Pfeiffer faked the option. He decided to keep it. And he gets down to about the 26-yard line. Don't see Logan run all that often, but he has picked up some big first downs on the ground in his career.
Right, when that's what's there, right? He doesn't, again, it's not something he's necessarily looking for, but right, when that's what the defense gives, he can take it. And, big long-legged athlete that he is, when he's called upon to do it, he can do it.
Trips to the right side, trips to the left side, Sullivan to the right. It's Frazier, Heckathorn, and Lenhart to the left. Pfeiffer to throw. Time in the pocket. Steps up, fires downfield. Sullivan came back to the football, made a nice catch, and he'll go out of bounds near the 17-yard line.
Pfeiffer's pass to
see some frustration in the Geneva defensive backfield. How often do we see that?
I mean, that's almost a route that Grove City has perfected for its outside receivers.
Right. Yeah, and so much of it, again, comes down to how the defensive backs are playing that. And pretty amazing.
Third down and 5. Again, trips to the left, single receiver to the right side. Pfeiffer's going to keep the football and follow Flotty up the middle for a first down, and that's now going to put Sullivan over the 100-yard mark receiving on the previous play.
Yeah, Sullivan 100 yards receiving, and there's Pfeiffer doing the running that we talked about there. The 11th play of the drive, that was, Mark, to get themselves into a first and goal situation. And you cannot ask for a better kind of a drive than what Grove City's putting together here. Yeah, it's used over 6 minutes, Ryan Briggs telling us. So, yeah, amazing. This is exactly what you want to come out and do with a 4-touchdown lead to start the second half.
Give it to Nico Flotty, trying to bounce to the outside, steps inside the 5, uses that strength and runs into the end zone for a Wolverine touchdown.
They started to the outside and looked like he was maybe going to be caught there by Caden Holtzman on the edge. So he just kind of cut back into the middle. You mentioned the strength. Sometimes he like stiff arms with the football. You ever notice that? He kind of stiff armed Holtzman with the football and gets himself into the end zone again.
So Daniel Bearbay will hold. Daniel Sullivan on to attempt the extra point. Snap down, extra point on the way. And that one was partially deflected and is no good.
Yeah. Yeah, blocked by number 99. That's what I saw too. And Gonzalez. So
the conversion blocked by Gonzalez.
So the extra point is no good. And with 4:51 to play here in this third quarter, Grove City's lead grows to 34-0 over Geneva. We can keep it right here.
Yeah.
It's one of those where, we talk about the offense always takes what the defense is giving.
Yeah.
But not only that, but with that offensive line, with all the experience that is there, you just
we're in a media timeout.
Defensive front.
Yeah. Right. So that's it. They obviously that,
conversion
every play, play after play.
No good. However, it was a live ball.
Effort, so.
The player picked it up, handed it to the official. No one attempted to move the ball, so it's dead.
Okay. Not sure we needed all of that, but we got it. So there it is. Yeah.
Forget about the part that ball becomes live.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Again, we're in a media timeout.
Okay.
So with the media timeout, we'll step aside for a 30-second break and come back on the Wolverine Sports Network.
This is Grove City College President Paul McNulty. Grove City College is a highly ranked national liberal arts college where your formation is viewed holistically, embracing mind, heart, and hand. You'll discover your calling and be equipped to pursue it. You'll also be a part of a community of purpose and principle. Faithfulness to this mission is one of our core values. Learn more about us at gcc.edu.
Wolverines capping a long drive, Chris, with another touchdown.
Yeah, 12 plays, 72 yards, used up 6 minutes and 12 seconds on the clock. Again, exactly what you want to do, with a multiple touchdown lead. Perfect drive for the Grove City Wolverines.
Bear Bay now kicks off. That's a line drive caught outside of the 10, brought back 15 and 20 and out to around the 30-yard line. And that's one of those dangerous line drive picks where you you worry for a second.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt. Good coverage as usual for Grove City.
The ball will be played.
So 4:45 to play here in the third quarter, and the Golden Tornadoes have the football back.
Yes, Devin Thomas actually kicked off that time. So, yeah, I thought I saw Sullivan not limping noticeably, but just kind of coming off with a little bit of a hitch in his step. So they got Thomas in there and did a good job.
We'll run the ball on first down to the Golden Tornadoes out and across the 30 to the 31-yard line. Pick up of about 3 on first down, brings up second down
on the run
and 7.
Yeah, just
3 to the 31.
Kind of a
2nd and 7.
Helpless feeling here for Geneva now. Down 5 scores, 4:20 and a rolling clock here in this third quarter. Trying to put together something here.
Myers has 2 wings as he drops to throw. Pass going to be complete. Receiver turns upfield and going to be close to the first down marker. Let's see, just a little bit shy and bring up third down.
And it doesn't get much easier for Geneva next week as they go to Carnegie Mellon. So at Grove City, at CMU to start the season.
Montgomery.
The PAC schedule makers were not smiling down on Geneva this year.
So they do give him the first down. Myers under center. Wing faked the misdirection. They gave it to the fullback. And he's down to the 41-yard line. Just a a difficult offense when you're trailing by this many to get big chunk yardage.
This is that offense that you get up 7-0, 10-0, something like that. Then you can just, almost like a basketball team playing keep away. But this is not a basketball team to
officials timeout. Injury to the defense.
Yeah.
Couldn't get the initial number, but there's a Grove City player down on.
It's Minch.
So that is Jason Minch, who was down on the field. I saw the 3, but wasn't quite sure.
Right. Yeah, you don't want to get that wrong either. Yeah, you can see it was. Couldn't tell if it was like a non-contact injury, which sometimes those are worse, right?
That's trainer Rick Hawk down there with Coach DiDonato.
Yeah, Coach DiDonato looking pretty concerned. So.
We talked about just the ability of players like Minch to kind of just go and play anywhere.
Right. Yes. Football player. FP next to their name in the on the roster, right? Should be. There we go.
Good to see him up.
Yeah, coach telling him not to run off. Okay, it's something up by his nose, his face. Okay. Which, obviously that hurts and you hate that and, might affect your appearance for a couple of days, but at the same time, usually not long-term injuries as far as the season goes.
So 2nd down and 7. Myers will pitch the ball and tripped up by Jack Jolly is the running back. Philip Ransom, the sophomore out of Spring, Texas.
I'm trying not to say the exact same thing every time, but every time Geneva tries to run a play to the outside, they just aren't fast enough to get, to turn the corner and make any hay against these Grove City linebackers. They're just too fast.
Grove City starting to substitute a little bit on defense as well, trying to keep everybody fresh. So 3rd down and 5. Myers rolling to the outside. Ben Bladle's there for the sack. It drops him in the backfield, and that should tie Bladle for the all-time sack list with the Wolverines now tied with Ryan Fleming at 24.5.
Right. There's Ben Bladle.
Loss of
sacking Myers. No, we're not on Elm Street, but it's a nightmare on Elm Street for Mr. Myers. Bladle gets in there again for another sack.
So Myers will punt. Single returner back deep at 27-yard line. Snap back to Myers. Gets his foot into this one. Davidson's going to let it roll. Might have lost it in the sun. And this is going to roll for Geneva all the way down to about the 1-yard line.
Yeah, I think you're right, Mark.
He looked up to try and make a play. And I think that's the smart call. You know he's probably going to get yourself pinned deep. But better that than
you make the fair catch. You try to catch it and you lose it. Then, you definitely don't want that. And, obviously that was a very fortunate roll for Geneva after that. So
Grove City comes out 1st down and 10. Minute 18 to play here in this 3rd quarter. Going to go under center. Send the fullback in motion. Give it on a stretch handoff. And it's going to be just a short gain.
Ian DeMary on the run, brought down by Gordon.
DeMary getting his 10th carry as Wolverines have put 2 running backs over 100 yards this afternoon as well.
Yeah, obviously DeMary with that 74-yarder to start things today, and just has been kind of steady Eddies here since.
Gain of 2 brings up 2nd down and 8. We go under 45 seconds to play in this afternoon's 3rd quarter. Wolverines working into the wind. And we'll give it to DeMary again. And DeMary with a pickup of a couple of yards out to the 8-yard line.
DeMary on the run.
We'll see if the Wolverines elect to snap it one more time here in this quarter.
Yeah, it doesn't appear as if there's any injury or urgency to do that, so maybe not.
Third quarter clock now under 10 seconds. And they're just going to stand around and let this third quarter clock roll to an end. And we will come to the
end of the third quarter.
Ladies and gentlemen,
After 3 this afternoon on the season opener and home opener from Robert Thorne Field, Grove City leading Geneva by a score of 34-0. We will step aside here momentarily for a quick break, and we'll come back with more on the Wolverine Sports Network.
All right.
You can't escape a traffic jam. Know what else you can't escape? Seasonal allergies. No! And you might think you can avoid that coffee stain until... Oh, really? You can't escape a lot of things in life, but you can escape prediabetes. Prediabetes captures 1 in 3 adults. There are usually no signs of prediabetes. In fact, most people don't even know they have it. But with early diagnosis, you can change the outcome and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. Take action by taking the 1-minute risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. You might not be able to escape having this song stuck in your head, but you can escape prediabetes. Go to doihaveprediabetes.org today. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.
Final 15 minutes of this one put up on the scoreboard, and Grove City with a 34-0 lead over the visiting GTs from Geneva. Around the league, Chris, Allegheny up 13-7 over Bethany. They are getting set to start the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you look at that score and, that indicates to you that, Bethany, improved from a season ago. So certainly that, because we know Allegheny, had moments last year where that, that Allegheny team showed that they could compete. Certainly with the top, the top 5 teams in the conference.
We'll get you some more scores after this 3rd and 4 play. Grove City now right to left here in the fourth quarter. 4 receivers in the formation. Piper's got a running back next to him. He's going to fire the ball. Receiver makes the catch and falls forward for a Wolverine first down.
Yeah, that's Sullivan again. Yeah. There he is. So he's okay. Like I said, he limped off and then did not kick off the after that touchdown. And but good to see him. Good to see him back in there.
1st and 10 at the 16.
So 1st and 10 Wolverines. Ball out to the 16-yard line. Single receivers to each side. Single fullback in the backfield. Piper to throw it on play action. Going to go right down the seam. Sullivan open. Made the catch, spun upfield across the 45 to the 46-yard line.
You see what's happening, right? Is you look at Frazier along the sideline. 3 white shirts surrounding Frazier. So again, they take Frazier. They take Frazier away. Sullivan is being covered one-on-one, which means it's going to be open, and Piper finding him.
So 1st and 10, Grove City to the 46-yard line. Piper overlooks the defense, takes the snap, will hand the ball off on 1st down. And that'll be a gain across the 50 to the 49-yard line.
For Grove City. Brought down by Hill and Gonzalez.
That is Chase Rankin, the sophomore,
from
Coventry Township, Ohio, getting his first carry of the year.
Yeah, we heard Coach DiDonato mention him by name, in the pregame show with Ryan, and so there he is. He said those guys behind the top 2 are not that far off. And so getting a little work here in the early fourth quarter of this football game.
Piper to throw it on play action. Pass is going to be caught by Sullivan across the 45. down to the 44-yard line.
Pass complete to Sullivan.
And I've been impressed with a lot of things today, but the rhythm of the passing game is on point.
Right. That's Logan Pfeiffer. I mean, he is so in command of things in this football game. And, it's like he's, everyone else is playing at fast speed. The game is just kind of slowed down for him.
Demiri going to get the handoff. He stood up in the backfield, able to push forward, get back to the line of scrimmage.
Demiri on the run, brought down by Gordon. No gain, 4th and 1 at the 44.
So 4th and 1. You'll see Bobby Benton, the sophomore, check in. Going to bring you that heavy package. Both fullbacks.
Love it.
Tamburino and Burnett. Wolverines will play on 4th down for the first time here this afternoon. Pfeiffer under center. Brady Brungard gives the ball to the deep back. That's Demiri, and he'll have the first down and a whole lot more. And this drive will continue.
Yeah, that formation when you have both Tamburino and Brunette in, plus the offensive line, there's just 7 offensive lines. Just too many guys being hit, to stop the running back. And we got to get Brunette blocking for Tamburino. Get him a carry. See if he can plow some people over.
1st and 10 for the Wolverines at the Golden Tornado 39-yard line. Pfeiffer out of the pistol formation. Rankin's the running back. Chase is going to get the football. And he's going to gain 1. Down to the 38-yard line. It's 2nd down and 9. You talk about being in command of the offense. Pfeiffer, 18 to 23. 250, 2 touchdowns, completing passes at a 78% clip.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, again, he's been great for a long time. We don't want to act like this is anything new, but he just, in this game here, the first game of his senior campaign, he has just seemed so in command of everything. And, again, it just looks like the game's just easy for him,
Back to throw. Frazier makes the catch. Pushes it towards the inside. Now pinballed around, and he'll get down to the 30-yard line. Going to be just a little bit shy of the first down.
Brought down by Sorello. Gain of 8, 3rd and 1.
So Frazier's 9th catch. Going to go back to the heavy package. The first time we'll see the offensive line shuffle. So 3rd down and 1. Pull back in motion. Demiri gets the carry. And it's going to be close.
Yeah. Going to be close. Grove City's offense today, Mark, 515 yards. Hopefully 516 here to pick up that first down. We'll see where the spot is, but just an incredibly efficient day. Usually when somebody has 500 plus yards offense, you think like 7 or 8, plays over 50 yards, like something like that. Obviously they have the 2 long plays, but it's just been a model of efficiency here to get themselves a 500 plus yard day on offense.
So the offensive line shuffles again. Both fullbacks in there. Pfeiffer under center. Demiri is the tailback. Give it to him again. Demiri got stood up at the 30-yard line, and they will not get this 4th down conversion. Trying for the second 4th down conversion on the drive, and Geneva takes over on down.
Yeah. Again, if you're Geneva, obviously you're just looking to take things away for as you move along. It's no longer about winning this game. It's about playing the way you want to play here and getting better. Certainly if you're Geneva, that's a moment there to build on right there. Right, 4th and 1 for Grove City, trying to put together another long drive to milk the clock, and you make a stop on 4th down.
So Myers back out there on offense for the Golden Tornadoes. He's going to keep the football and be driven down at the 35-yard line. Like Jolly and Bladel both there to make the stop.
7 on the run.
Oh, the gain of about 3 yards, setting up a second
Myers
down and 7. And this Geneva offense still averaging under 1.5 yards per play.
Yeah. It's been like I said, again, obviously the quarterback, situation for them is not the difference, but it certainly didn't help.
Pitch the ball to Philip Ranson, and he is driven back to the 30-yard line. That's going to be a big loss on the play as he tried to turn the corner, and there was no running room at all.
Yeah, Caleb Brubaker just absolutely separating man from football. So, yeah, Brubaker, we've talked about the other linebackers a lot today, not so much about him, but certainly making his presence known. Another one of those fast guys that hits hard in this linebacking core for the Wolverines.
So it's 3rd down and 12 for Myers. Man goes in motion, fakes the pitch. He'll throw it to the outside. That pass is going to be incomplete. Looking for Jordan Wilmore, the sophomore from Elizabeth Forward High School, and it brings up 4th down.
Yeah, Spolnick all over Myers as he tried to roll out there and make that little screen play happen. And it just, there's just nothing that this offense can do.
No, it is a young offensive line for the Golden Tornadoes, starting a freshman at left tackle.
Yeah. That makes Geneva 0 for 10 on 3rd down attempts. So, I mean, you tough to get any momentum offensively when that's going on.
Baker's punt high and over end. Fair catch made at about the 37-yard line.
Fair catch made by Danino. Grove City takes over 1st and 10 at the 37.
So Grove City will have the football back. 7:40 to play here in this 4th quarter, and a 34-point
timeout on the field.
Geneva.
Media timeout.
Looks like.
With that said, we will take a timeout as well and be back after this on the Wolverine Sports Network.
Fast family service for cars, trucks, and SUVs. Check your tire pressure. Locally. Yeah, shadowing up. It's a set. Certainly, it's not scary car. So, sit, drive. It's now easy.
Ken Frenchak here at the Valvoline Express Care and Car Wash of Grove City. Experience. We're all about experience. The experience of our expert quick lube techs and also the experience we provide you with every oil change. You can go anywhere for an oil change, but you come here to the Valvoline Express Care and Car Wash of Grove City for the experience. Drive in, drive out. It's that easy. The Valvoline Express Care and Car Wash of Grove City.
Valvoline Express Care and Car Wash of Grove City.
7:40 to play here in the 4th quarter. And we've got some wholesale changes for the Wolverines.
Yeah.
As Ethan Wiley, the junior, checking in at quarterback.
Yeah, Wiley, big, strong kid from right down the road in Mercer, the junior. Coach DiDonato had high praise for him in the pregame show with Ryan. Talked about his big arm and how smart he is about the playbook.
Handed off on 1st down, and that's going to be a short gain by Rankin, the sophomore, again out of Coventry Township.
Rankin on the run.
Yeah, it's getting got some work with the ones, right? With that first unit.
To 39.
In there with the twos.
2 receivers go to the right. 1 to the left side. Fullback in motion. Wiley going to drop to throw for the first time. Going to take a shot downfield. Man wide open, makes the catch, and he is into the end zone for the Grove City touchdown. Receiver broke open, and he was able to hit him in stride for the touchdown.
Wiley complete for number 18.
That is number 18, Dominic Nino, the sophomore.
Yeah.
Touchdown, Grove City.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about the big arm.
Completion.
Ethan Wiley finding Danino down the field.
Danino.
Right on the money, in a basket. The old expression goes, and wow.
Sullivan for the conversion.
Not a bad debut for the twos for the Wolverines, huh?
Sullivan on for the extra point. Snap down, kick all the way, and that extra point is good. And you heard Coach talk about it in the pregame show, and I was down on the sidelines last year and had a chance to see Wiley warming up, and well, that is an impressive
He's
arm.
got a rocket, right? I mean, we talked. I remember talking about Piper's arm when he was a freshman, backup, right? And then he comes in and does what he's done over the past 3 years, and what Wiley's got that same kind of arm and frame and everything else. So certainly, what a great 1-2 punch at quarterback this team has, as they do at just about every position.
And as we've seen things progress, that's kind of where it's been, where they've built so much depth on this roster.
Yeah. I mean, these are great football players that have battled their way to get to number 2, right? At each position. Yeah, that's when you have recruiting really going.
Kickoff and over and from the 10 across the 15, outside 20 to the 25 and pulled down right there. Devin Thomas, the sophomore from Blackhawk, on that kickoff.
Yeah, some wholesale changes on defense here for Grove City now.
At these moments and these opportunities, they're big not only for developing experience and developing talent, but it bonds the team.
Yes,
to get a chance
exactly.
To see everybody
Right.
get in the game.
Yeah, and you got the ones screaming their lungs out on the sideline for guys making plays. Yeah, I mean it's a big moments for these guys for sure.
Myers fakes it. He's going to keep it, and Myers going to get out to the 30-yard line. He'll pick up close
Myers
to
on the
4
run,
and second
brought down
down
by
and
Franco.
6.
Gain of 5 to the
So
31.
Danny Franco, a freshman out of North Catholic High School on the stop.
Yeah. Again, not much on the edge for Geneva. That has certainly been a well-repeated mantra here on this day.
Myers again goes under center, sends the wing back in motion, faked it to the fullback and kept it. And he is going to be driven back behind the 30-yard line. That's a loss of a couple, and will bring up third down.
Yeah, is that Mason Summers getting in there and flinging the quarterback down? And so
Loss of 2. 3rd and 7 at the 29.
So 3rd down and 7. Can you imagine how little fun it is for Geneva to play offense today? I mean, that's just wherever you go, there are red shirts right there. And again, it's this defense has just been incredibly dominant today.
Myers drops to throw, fires the pass out. Receiver able to hold on to it for a minimal gain that will bring up 4th down. As going up there to pull the pass down was Seth Tyson.
Myers complete to Tyson on the tackle.
Senior Trenton Rupp out of Red Bank Valley High School.
33.
And it brings up 4th down.
Red Bank Valley's had some great high school teams here recently, and certainly he was on those.
Dominic Danino, senior out of Kiski Area High School. Snap back to Myers. Catch it on the run across the 40 and down near the 43-yard line. That's where Grove City's offense has the ball back. Under 5 minutes to play here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, Danino catching the long touchdown pass now. Nice little punt return.
Brought down by Baker and
Wiley back out there for his second series.
Takes over 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
So they'll break the huddle, come to the line of scrimmage. Single back in the backfield. Two receivers to the right, one to the left. Fullback goes in motion. Give it to Rankin. And he's going to work his way forward. for a good gain on first down. And that's what set up the offense so well today is the big gains on first down really opens the playbook.
Right. That's it.
Gain of 6.
That's it. Yeah. And that's certainly been a staple of this offense over the past several years is they very rarely are in second down and long, right? I mean, that's you get out there and you make a play on first down, then the offense becomes easy and fun.
Run it again. This one will just be spun up the middle, down to the 49-yard line. Gain of 1.
On the run,
going to bring up third down for Grove City.
1 yard gain.
Try and get you some of all those numbers in there. Wyatt Barzak, 6'4" junior wide receiver from Cochranton in there. And at fullback is Evan Wright, a senior out of McGuffey High School. Going to pitch it back. And the GTs had that play strung out to the boundary well for just a couple yard gain that'll bring up fourth down.
Yeah.
Rankin on the run.
Yeah, just the pitch just a little bit behind him there, which that threw the timing off enough for Geneva to be able to swarm that.
So fourth down and 1, and Grove City will punt the football away. So Bear Bay to kick.
Bear Bay is fun.
Third punt of the afternoon, averaging an even 35 yards per kick. Now we've got a whistle, and Geneva's going to take a timeout.
Timeout on the field. Geneva. Their second timeout of the half. Please put the clock at 2:57.
Man short. There were 3 men short. There was 9 guys out there when they called the timeout. So, yeah. Right. Yeah, 2. Yeah. Math skills coming into question again.
That's why we don't do the math thing. That's right. I was like, wait a minute. Did he say 3?
Yeah. Yeah.
I was going to say
9 plus 3 equals 11. Yeah. But yeah. Yeah. So you usually very rarely can we hear coaches, in the opposing box be frustrated, pretty soundproof in there. But that time you could hear the Geneva coaches, expressing some frustration at their team there. So yeah, only 9 guys out there. That's, you don't want that.
6 minutes to play, fourth quarter. Allegheny leading Bethany 20-7. Late fourth quarter, Case Western leading Waynesburg 41-7. Get to the other scores after this. Bear Bay gets the punt away. Nice high, deep kick. This one is going to hit at the 1 and roll into the end zone for the touchback. See W&J leading St. Vincent 59-6. That's with the minute 42 to play in the fourth quarter.
It is a touchback.
And Carnegie Mellon shutting out Teal in Greenville 58-0. Under 10 minutes to play in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I mean, these are, all of the top tier teams in the PAC doing kind of what we would expect them to do in week 1. So, again, and you just looking at those scores, as great as today has been, you realize what a gauntlet that those other teams at the top of the conference are going to be here for each other.
Got a new quarterback in there, it looks like, for the GTs. We'll get your name here after the play. That will go to the outside, and that's going to be good enough for a first down. It's Frankie Whitmore, a sophomore out of New Jersey, who's now in there at the quarterback spot.
Landon Smith on the run, pushed out by Gillen and Herrick.
So both teams getting some younger players, some opportunities to play here in the latter stages.
Good to hear Jace Herrick's name being called there, making the tackle. Of course, Jace's dad, a legendary.
Ball came loose on the exchange. Grove City says they have the football.
Yeah.
And waiting for the official indication, and they do.
Yeah.
So the defense forces the turnover as the quarterback, he came out from under center, turned to hand the ball off, and didn't have the football.
Yeah, right. Yeah, just a bad snap exchange, and so Grove City gets another shot at the offense. Ethan Wiley back out there, getting some good work here today. Ethan Wiley.
A running back in there as well. Looks like that might be Alec Rafa, a junior out of Ashtabula Lakeside. Going to get the carry. And he's going to be able to get forward for about a yard.
Yeah. Alec Rafa getting the carry. New fullback in there as well, number 46, Evan Wright. So
your interesting Ohio story about Ashtabula Lakeside?
Sure.
That stadium is literally on the lakeside.
Number 27, Alec Rafa on the run.
So one of the teams has their back to
timeout on the field. It's the 2-minute timeout coupled with a media timeout.
So we will have the 2-minute timeout. We will be able to step aside for a break. We will come back for the final 159 after this on the Wolverine Sports Network.
Clock to be at 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Ken Frenchak here at the Valvoline Express Care and Car Wash of Grove City. Experience. We're all about experience. The experience of our expert quick lube techs and also the experience we provide you with every oil change. You can go anywhere for an oil change, but you come here to the Valvoline Express Care and Car Wash of Grove City for the experience. Drive in, drive out. It's that easy. The Valvoline Express Care and Car Wash of Grove City.
Ask their parents a lot of questions.
Why can't people fly?
Gravity.
Is mom really made of cheese?
Yep, cream cheese.
When can I move into a big kid's car seat?
For some questions, parents may not have the answer, but that's okay. They can't know everything, but knowing the right seat for their age and size will help protect them in a car crash. Find out more at nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Where do babies come from?
Good luck, Dad. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Two minutes to play in the fourth quarter of the season opener for the Wolverines, who will have the open date next week before heading to St. Vincent in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, St. Vincent kind of taking it on the chin today a little bit, and they got Grove City coming in after an extra week to prepare for them. So, yeah.
So Wiley's got this single tailback behind him by a couple of yards. Turns, gives the handoff. That's Alec Rafa getting his second carry. And he hesitates and then pushes the pile forward for a nice gain that sets up third down.
Rafa on the run.
And Rafa,
done by Hill.
Nice job kind of picking through that.
Gain of 4 to the 28.
Picking up...
third down and 5.
Picking up some yardage to make this a third and very manageable 5 here.
So third down and 5 for this Wolverine offense. We are at 1:23, clock rolling here in the fourth quarter. Wolverines taking their time, play clock down to 4 seconds. Wiley snaps it with 2, gives it to Rafa, who stepped to the outside, cut back in, picked up a couple more yards. It's going to bring up a third down and a little more than 2.
Rafa on the run, brought down by Gonzalez. Gain of 2. 4th and 3 at the 26.
I thought that was third down. Yeah, so it's actually 4th and 2, Mark. So we'll see what Grove City does. They're going to leave the offense out there.
So fourth down facing the Wolverines. Game clock now down to 35 seconds. Wolverines will have to snap it one more time.
That's what they're going to do. They're going to snap it one more time.
Wiley takes the snap. Rafa, the running back, went the wrong way. So Wiley's just going to keep it. And with the failure to convert,
Wiley on the run, brought down by
that's going to give Geneva the football back with 22 seconds to play.
24.
Yeah, so that's see Wiley and Rafa talking there a little bit coming off the field. As he really turned and he went off his other shoulder. early season, right? As great as Grove City has been, as efficient as they've been, it's still week one. And so you occasionally see a
So the GTs will have one more play. Quarterback under center, wings to each side. Wing will go in motion. He'll pitch it to him, trying to turn the corner, and he's going to be spun down behind the line for a 1 yard loss.
Edmiston on the run.
Second down and 11.
Yeah. So
Loss of 1, second and 11 at the 23.
Wallizer and Trent Rupp in there from Red Bank Valley to close it out. So nice season opening win for the Wolverines, Mark.
The Wolverines will run out the final seconds of this game, and a 41-0 shutout victory for the Wolverines here in week one, who will now get 2 weeks to prepare for St. Vincent. St. Vincent falling this afternoon to WJ by a final score of 59-6. And Chris, you got to like the way the game played out in every phase.
Every phase, right. Right, just tremendous efficiency. Again, lots of guys getting involved. We talk about kind of spreading it around. All of the stars, getting to be stars, if you will, today. And just an incredibly efficient performance for quarterback Logan Pfeiffer.
All right, let's look inside some of the numbers. Grove City, 72 plays, 594 yards of total offense this afternoon. Geneva, 41 plays, 62 yards.
It's unbelievable. I mean, you talk about a contrast. It's essentially like one team is picking up 10 yards per play. The other team is picking up 1 yard per play. And that's what it looked like, right? I mean, the stats say that, and that's what it looked like.
Looking at some of the individual numbers, Logan Pfeiffer, 19 of 24 through the air, 258 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, completing 79.2% of his pass attempts.
Yeah, I mean, the game seemed easy for him, and I don't mean that it is easy either. I'm talking about how in command of things he was, and just how one step ahead of the defense he was all day long.
Ethan Wiley, 1 of 1, 61 yards and a touchdown. Running the football for the Wolverines this afternoon, Ian Demiri, 15 carries, 125 yards, 1 touchdown, 8.3 yards a carry. Nico Vladi, 20 carries, 113 yards, 5.7 yards per carry.
Right. I mean, the big difference, obviously, there in the average was the long run by Demiri, but those two as a 1-2 punch. Terrific. Demiri kind of picking up right where Clayton Parrish left off. A little bit, obviously, of a different kind of back than Parrish was, but as far as a 1-2 punch with Flatty, just terrific.
Daniel Sullivan, 5 catches, 112 yards and a touchdown. Frazier, 9 for 78 and a touchdown. And, of course, Danino, the 1 reception for 61 yards and a touchdown. We'll take one final break. We will come back and wrap things up on the Wolverine Sports Network.
I'm Sally, a volunteer at United Way. I'm asking people around the neighborhood what they think this place needs. Excuse me, hi, what do you think this place needs?
I'd like to see more parking.
More playgrounds.
Free movies. That's easy. Better restaurants.
And you, what do you think this place needs? This place? Oh, more ice cream trucks. Okay. How about you?
Wi-Fi everywhere?
I was thinking more money in the pockets of local families come tax time.
Can I change my answer?
I was just kidding about the ice cream.
Oh, that's way better. Now that you mention it.
When it comes to getting better tax refunds into the hands of local families, what this place needs is you. To donate or volunteer, go to unitedway.org. Because great things happen when we live united. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
This is the news. This morning, we are saluting the 2.2 million women who have joined the effort. 37% of the workforce changing their role forever. The prestigious Harvard Medical School is breaking ground today, opening its doors to new female applicants. Today, little girls all over the world look to the sky, where the first woman is now in space.
Military stereotypes are challenged today with the trailblazing promotion of a U.S. female officer to 4-star general. It was just announced that the vast majority of last year's doctorate degrees were earned by women.
We've come so far, but our news is changing for the worse. More women die from heart disease and stroke than men, even though it can be prevented. Make a change at GoRedForWomen.org today. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the American Heart Association's Go Red for Women.
Chris, can you put the video game controller down for a second?
I can talk and play. Oh, I'm totally annihilating this punk kid in Nebraska.
I just feel like you're not acting like a grown-up in our relationship.
Him too.
Well, you still ride your skateboard to work. There's the comic book collection, the race car bed.
Look, I'm young at heart, but I put money into my 401k every paycheck. I picked up a few savings tips at feedthepig.org. I have control over my financial life now, and that feels pretty grown up.
Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. Putting some money from every paycheck into a savings account or contributing to your 401k can make a big difference later. For free ideas and easy tips on ways to save, go to feedthepig.org. That's feedthepig.org.
So, I bet I look like a grown-up to you now.
Well, except for the footy pajamas, I'd have to agree.
This message brought to you by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants and the Ad Council.
Wrapping up a Wolverine victory this afternoon here on the Wolverine Sports Network as the Wolverines start 1-0. Chris, a 41-0 shutout victory over the visiting Geneva Golden Tornadoes. And, the coaches love to see that 0 up there on the scoreboard.
Yeah, no question about that, right. Again, you hate kind of to give up a touchdown late in a game like this because this was an absolutely dominant performance by the defense. Obviously we're going to look at the offensive stats and, near perfection for Grove City. Obviously a couple of penalties, a couple of minus plays, one interception, but it was about as close to perfection as an offense can be. But the story of this game, perhaps, was the defense and just how absolutely dominant they were. It wasn't like a whole bunch of splash plays. It wasn't like interceptions for touchdowns or, anything like that. It was just whatever Geneva tried to do. Grove City had the answer for it early and often. And, again, this is the kind of thing this team is going to need when they play the top tier of the conference defensively.
And who leads your team in tackles today? Your 3 linebackers are the top 3 tacklers.
Yeah.
The transfer, Brubaker, finished with 8 tackles. Jolly with 7, Ben Bladel with 6. And we talk about just how quick and athletic the linebackers are.
Right.
And it shows with their tackle totals for today.
They're as fast as defensive backs, right? I mean, and as strong as defensive tackles, and they show it there. That's the heart and soul of that defense. And all of that was on display today.
Wolverines win a 41-0 shutout victory. Chris, it started off on just a 2-play, 82-yard drive for 34 seconds. Ian DeMary, 74-yard touchdown run. Daniel Sullivan's extra point, and Grove City was out to a 7-0 lead. At the 14:29 mark of the second quarter, Grove City capped an 11-play, 63-yard drive that took 5.5 minutes off the clock.
Yeah.
Nico Flotti, his first touchdown from 1 yard out. Sullivan's extra point put Grove City up 14-0. Wolverines would add a couple more scores in the first half. Logan Pfeiffer to Daniel Sullivan, 81 yards out. Just a 2-play, 78-yard drive that took 1:18. Sullivan's kick made it 21-0 in favor of the Wolverines. They would add one more score before the end of the first half. Logan Pfeiffer to Scott Frazier from 3 yards out. That the longest drive of the day, 11 plays, 73 yards, 6 minutes, and 10 seconds off the clock. It was a 28-0 lead for Grove City at the break.
Yeah, and again, really good descriptions there. As you were talking, you realize again they flip-flop back and forth, not by design, but you get yourself a big play, quick drive, and then you put together a 5 or 6 minute drive for a touchdown, and that's kind of the way that this team can be diverse like that is something special.
Wolverines got the scoring going in the third quarter at the 4:51 mark, concluding an 12-play, 72-yard drive that took 6:12 off the clock. It was a Nico Flotti touchdown run. Daniel Sullivan's extra point was blocked by Alex Gonzalez. 34-0 Grove City. And then the final scoring drive was just 2 plays, 63 yards, 40 seconds. Ethan Wiley to Dominic Danino, 61 yards out. Sullivan's extra point was good, wrapping up a 41-0 victory for the Wolverines.
Yeah, great recap, Mark, and certainly great stuff for the Grove City Wolverine offenses. They scored in a variety of different ways with a variety of different people getting involved. And, again, this just all of the things that we talk about with this team, the volume of stars, the experience, the depth, when you mentioned all of those scoring drives, all of those things on full display. So this is Grove City College. This is who they are right now.
And then the Wolverines now 2 weeks to prepare for St. Vincent, who fell this afternoon at W&J 59-6.
Yeah, I know it's rough, certainly both St. Vincent and Geneva, rough patches here because Geneva has to go to CMU next week. And then, of course, St. Vincent will have to deal with Grove City with a week in between, 2 weeks to prepare for them. So yeah, big things going on in the PAC and great things going on here at Grove City.
Chris, good to get back with you for our 14th year. Always a lot of fun. We'll see you in a few weeks.
Yes.
Want to thank Sports Information Director Ryan Briggs and his fantastic support staff here in the press box, getting us ready for this afternoon's broadcast. And Ryan and I will talk to you in 2 weeks from St. Vincent. Wolverines a winner this afternoon, 41-0 over the Goat Tornadoes from Geneva. You heard it all right here on the Wolverine Sports Network.
Thank you for tuning into the Wolverine Sports Network. We'll talk to you next time on the home of the Wolverines.
Michigan, 42.5 on the total. So let's take a look. 31-12 winner for Texas. They dominate Michigan. Michigan picks up a late score. Hadn't done anything offensively in garbage time. Late score, 43, cashes the over.
Yeah. So, it's never over until it's over, right? The under, and that's why I'm a little more of an under better because unders are always winning and it's always under until it's not. So it does go over the total, but impressive performance by Texas. This was absolutely a dominating performance. The Michigan defense, which I still think is a very good defense, didn't look as elite as they did last year as Quinn Ewer is able to carve them up. So the Longhorns, they always ask the question, is Texas back? Yes, they are back, at least early precincts reporting for this season.
100%.
Was the Valley's online source for sports talk and local live events. Tune in and be a part of their live weekly shows, as well as all of the hard-hitting action of Youngstown Phantoms hockey, high school football, and the GDFL. Find them at westernreserveradio.com. Tune in and the Live 365 app to be a part of the area's sports conversation. Be sure to visit them on Facebook at Western Reserve Radio and on Twitter at WR_radio.
Elsewhere, really don't have much to report.
Utah just now in the end zone, by the way. Cam Rising, a pass complete to Money Parks. What a great name. 28 yards out. So Utah up 7-0 early against Baylor.
And Cam Rising at halftime is going to look for extended eligibility. So maybe we see him for year 8 at Utah next year. Wes, if you're the type of player who's looking to get down $10,000 or more on NFL lines at the best price in the market, or perhaps you're looking to get your in-game play instantly accepted, which is important. In-game bettors know it. Introducing Sport Trade, the app that's going to change sports betting. $4 lines, very important, instead of the typical $10. Instant in-game betting and a concierge player service. Sport Trade is perfect for those who want premium and a great premium betting experience. Sport Trade is live in New Jersey, Colorado, Iowa, and it's coming to Arizona and Virginia this fall. You can download the Sport Trade app and use the code VSIN to earn 10% cash back on each wager in your first week. Terms do apply. You must be 21 years or older. Cam Rising is. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. As we go to break, you got anything for me? Anything happening? I just want to tease. We're going to have Kevin Adams from PFF talking NFL. Anything happening college-wise in the last minute here?
Yeah, still in overtime here. Oklahoma State with the football. They actually win with a score here in overtime. They'll have 3rd and 7 from the Hogs 22. So Northern Illinois, by the way, just gets in the end zone, and now we are tied 7-7. Go NIU. The men from DeKalb. Nice little bus trip over to South Bend.